Hello and welcome. Right, we are tucking back in to the last few categories of the Bricklink design program, series 10, where we've got the medieval bits and pieces to take a look at. Sorry, that's a lie. We're going to start off with the medieval stuff from the finishing off from last night. Then we're going to tuck straight into some other little bits and pieces that are on here. So we've got the history and period, which is all the Western bits and pieces. That's going to be the first tab that we're going to click on. Then we're going to do trains. Then it's vehicles, and then it's art and object. So good evening to everybody. Hopefully everybody is fit and well. So this is the fourth or fifth one within this series that we've done. So we've covered all of the others in separate uploads, but because there's only one page of history and one page of boats and all that kind of stuff, we're going to tuck in. Now, as the notifications are going out, like I said, what I am going to do is just take a look at the last sort of 6 big castles again. That's when me and Jay were talking over these last night. And then, of course, well, there was so many of these things to take a look at. It just took a while. So we'll start off at the Cloudfall Keep and just work our way down. I think this is roughly where Jay jumped in. So there was sort of both of us talking over these sets, and we're talking about sort of the Star Wars stuff at the same time. So if you are watching this back on the replay, it's just going to be these sets, and then we're going to start off with the Western bits and pieces. So good evening to everybody. I hope everybody is good. I can see people in the chat already. So Mark, hello to you. Kingdom, hello to you. Ultra Bricks, hello to you. Hopefully everybody is fit and well. Already got to sort out one of the cats. There we go. So she's on her way up. Are we a fan of any of these castles? John, good evening to you. So I'm on the fancy software. There we go. Look, back again. John is back. He's done a M&M, back again. Yes, so we will just finish off where we finished off last night with regards to all these little bits and pieces, because there's so much detail in all of these castle bits and bobs. And like I said, me and Jay were talking over these last night. It's just spotting some new bits and bobs, again, with the turkey leg and the candles and all the other little bits and pieces that are in there. They do look very, very good indeed. It takes a couple of minutes for the notifications to go out, and then we will just be tucking straight in to, like I said, the Western different bits and pieces. And I haven't looked at them yet. We've, apart from going through them very, very quickly with you guys, all 555 of them, not sort of done a deep dive like we are now with all of these. I love the colours on this. I do love the green against the black, and I like the orange bits and pieces at the bottom and all the different the flames and the flags and all of that kind of thing. So this is the stuff that I couldn't say when we're talking about the other little bits and pieces that we were last night. But yeah, I am a big fan of some of these castles, and there's loads and loads of you left a comment in the last upload as well, which is really, really nice to see. Lots of designers that are sort of watching all these bits and bobs. And again, congratulations to every single designer. Now, of course, let me know what your favorite sets are, because I will be putting a wish list top 5 on behalf of like everybody, so we can literally just start looking at your favorite 5 sets, and then somebody else's, and then somebody else's, and so on and so forth. Because of course you've got to sort of pick and choose the different bits and bobs as we go. Now, of course, there is a poll running as per normal. So if you want to take part in the poll on the replay, well, very, because what is your if you got given one set, what do you pick? Do you pick the new Snoopy's Doghouse, the new Guru, the new X1 Ninjago Charger, or the new Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter? So all of those have been announced in the last 24 hours. And again, lots of moving panels on this. I do like all the other little bits and pieces they've got on here. And again, big fan of the color scheme on this one. So is it on your list of hoping in the top 5? Now, the medieval cathedral. So I've been talking for so long already today. I'm slurring my words. I'm only a few minutes in. So I do like the sort of stained glass window at the top. I do like the fact that we have got more of a modular building on this one as well. And I think I said yesterday that this is definitely something that you would want in your medieval display, because you haven't got one yet. The Lego group themselves haven't done it. You could add this in to the different bits and bobs. You can see you've got the really nice sort of stained glass windows on the back of this one, but we are at the maximal price point. So we've got to be 325, 350. So that's a lot of money. We are at a big money now. So I know the sets are beautiful, but are they worth paying the most expensive price point on the Bricklink Designer Program? That is the question. And then obviously we will soon find out as we start going through all of the other little bits and pieces, but we are finishing on these monsters because, like I said, this is what me and Jay were sort of talking over yesterday, and we'd spent long time on this yesterday. It was nearly 4 hours, so I would have missed loads and loads of detail on these. So I did say to some of the designers, I will be just very quickly going over these again, and then obviously spending more time when we do like a wish list of different bits and pieces. The castle stuff does take a long time to go through because of how you have to work this Bricklink software. You've got to sort of zoom in and you've got to do it all a little bit weird and wonderful, but you can see all the detailing and everything that is there on the background. So yeah, good evening to everybody. How are we all? That is the question. Have we been building anything today? Have we been doing anything exciting today? I have got another, just for the sake of John and everybody else that was with me last night, I've just got another one of these out the fridge. So we know what happened with this last time. So John says, notice the heavy use of green in this round of designs. Yeah, it does seem to be the black-green sort of combination that they're sort of doing with a couple of the different sets now. It is very, very impressive. There's a lot of, I do like the fact there's a lot of darker stuff. I still think that's put from maybe the set that we've all been talking about, the one that Sean's currently been doing by Sleepless Nights. And of course, we now know that you can get those instructions from Rebrickable, which is pretty impressive, not the Bricklink ones, obviously. But yeah, he's done some fantastic designs. I think a lot of people might be inspired by that. But the green itself is obviously for the new faction as well, don't forget, isn't it? So we've got this new sort of faction with all of these different bits and pieces going on, and these do look very, very good indeed. So let me just go back through the chat, everybody, and just see what is what. So hello to, all right, let's go back through everything. So Kingdom, Mark, John is back again. Go easy on the tape. I've got it here. Killian, hello. How are we, sir? Hopefully everybody is good. There we go. John says definitely some incredible castle designs. So have you ever bought anything from Bricklink, John? I was not here last night. What happened last night? This, what we are doing now, Mark. Exactly the same as this is what was going on. Yeah, Killian says, will you put together a top 5 from each and we'll vote? Because I can't remember any. Yeah, so we'll do like a wish list, because this is the thing. It's just a top 5. That's what you've got to think. It is literally just a top 5. So, I mean, the fact that I know for a fact that I've got probably, and again, from a theme park perspective, I look at all these from, there's at least 3 castle sets that I could work in my display that I've just done today from a theme park perspective. And they're all different. They're all very, very slightly different with all those bits and pieces, but you're only ever going to get one of them. And then the likelihood of it going through, it's just anybody's guess. But again, this is packed full of all of this kind of stuff. I keep saying this every time. I don't know if this is the faction that the LEGO group's going to do. So if it is going to come out, then I feel sorry for the designers that have spent so much time in Series 9 and Series 10. But we'll see. We will see, because there were some incredible designs in Series 9 and they didn't get through. Now, we had a really nice comment from the designer on this one, on the last, in the actual chat after we actually finished the live stream. And I was saying in the live, when I was talking to Jay at the same time, really impressed with this one, because I like the fact that it's got the beautiful mountain bottom, and then you've got all of the color and all the detailing on this. And I think this is a beautiful, beautiful looking thing. Obviously, it's massive. And again, it is at the huge price point. But from a building perspective, it would just be a joy to put together, I would imagine, because you can see you've got all the different elements and all of the other little bits and pieces that are going on. You've got all the stuff going across the bottom. You've got little details like that, look. So you've got the little bird's nest just on there. I do like the sort of little tunnel that you can do little bits and pieces with. So you can display it open or you can display it closed. And then I do like the autumn effect. I think that's sort of something very, very different with regards to the orange, yellows and reds that have been used. And you've got the little bit of thatch just up at the top. But let's be honest, I think that is very, very pretty as well. It looks good open and it looks nice closed. It looks completely different shut to than when it does open, but we're now sort of getting a basic understanding that it is taking the designers 3-4 months to put these sets together. So yeah, it's a fruity experience from these people to do all of this, and it's a massive credit to all of the designers. But you can see you've got all the little bits and bobs that are just on there. Again, I said this yesterday, all the pigeon elements that have been used. We did have a look at the back, so it's fully modular with all of these 6. Do like all of the different rooms that are in there, because what I forgot to do yesterday is actually click on this one and then just go across so you guys and girls could see it a little bit slower. But you can see again all of the detailing that is in on this. I think it does look very, very smart indeed. So yeah, there's some nice stuff. There is some nice stuff. It's just a case of what is going to get through. And because, of course, the Castle and the Western, the Lego group don't really do much of them at the moment. But these, we know that this castle is massive. So if you saw me with the Winter Fortress castle earlier on in the other live stream, that's a beast of a thing. This is also going to be a really, really big set. So that is the other thing with the Bricklink Design Program stuff. They are very meaty sets. And then again, you've got something completely different here with the Rockspire Castle to finish on. So this is the last one. We're just recapping the stuff that we ended with last night. The notification should have gone out now, and then we'll be tucking into the new bits and pieces. So we now know how all this works with regards to having to use the Bricklink, the Bricklink Designer Program software, and then obviously it has instructions in contingent with. So there is potential that some of these sets might, if they don't make it, go to Rebrickable, and then you might be able to download them and then, of course, build them yourself. But there is loads of detail going on the inside of this. Tons and tons of different bits and pieces going on. So, yeah, massive credit to all the designers for that. If you want to see all the castle stuff, it's yesterday's live stream. But like I said, we were just doing this as a quick recap again, because I don't think I gave the last few castles enough attention last night, because it was getting late and all that kind of nonsense. It's not an excuse, but it was just one of those. So if you're following and you are obviously a designer, this is how it works. So you go into the stage that we're in now, crowdfunding, 9th to the 20th of February. We've got not long left now. There's only 6 days to get your votes in. And then after those 6 days, it goes into review from the 20th to the 19th. After that, on the 19th, it will be a live stream again. And we will be covering all of the 5 designs and seeing just how different they actually are. Now, if you are a designer and you're in the chat, let me know, obviously, and we'll be taking a good look. Because we're doing this in individual bits, we're just going to start on the Western stuff, which is the history and period. And I do believe that is just one page. And we're going to sort by size, and we're just going to work our way down. Now, before I click into them, let's take a look-see at all of the different bits and pieces. So, Sean has a pair of eyeballs. Hello to you. Now, Ultra Bricks has changed. Hang on. There's confusion in the chat now. So, I'm sure it's smart. Yeah, it's a lot smarter than me as well, Tim. I just sit here and dribble. That's pretty much what it is. Maroon Castle reminds me of the Lumi Castle series. Yeah, so it's... people just get ideas from each thing. It does depend on how long, what's been out and all that kind of stuff, because some of these designs were in series 9, 8, 7. So yeah, it's always an interesting one to see. I suppose the bigger the set, the more money you put into. That's it. So that is how basically the Bricklink design. It's a basic rule of thumb. The bigger the set, the more expensive it is. That's it. So yeah, there is nice things. So John's just made a point there with regards to like just money aspect of stuff. Let me just recap before we tuck in to that. The Bricklink 7, which we will go back over again, but when we're looking at the Western stuff, because obviously there's a lot of stuff to take a look at. If we go just by the current series, which is on the screen now, there is a countdown on. So that countdown is in 1 day and 19 hours. This was the 5 that made it to the final. But again, look at the price points. 99, 249, 319, 179, and 34. So there is a price point there for pretty much anybody. So when we're looking at these, and I go, we'll just go by brick count, for example. So we can just use this as a basic rule of thumb. It's obviously not rocket science, but that's 654 pieces. So if we say under 700 would be there or thereabouts, that just seems to be what it is. For this one, it then goes up to the next tier. So it's now 180, and we are just over 2,000 pieces. So there is a big jump from that one to that one. And of course, the 99 is the one that's in the middle. So when we go through these Western and history sets, there's 1,500. You've got a basic rule of thumb of just when the prices will jump. So we'll start off with this Western Standoff. So this is done by Zard Bricks. I'm still actually very confused before I actually tuck into that. Ultra Bricks, you confuse the pants off me because you've changed your background again, haven't you? I'm sure you have. So, yep, Crimson Tide for me is a pretty amazing set, along with the 2 jousting. Yes, that's it. So I really, really like the jousting stuff. I like the training set. There's some very special, very, very special sets in there at all. Reese, not another J2O. Yeah, I've shook it. Remember, it's still. So I can actually feel the pressure in the can now. I'm actually a bit scared to open that up after what happened yesterday. So I think I've caught back up with everybody. That's it. I agree. It's nice to see all the different bits and pieces and see exactly what happens with these. So we'll just go through the sets slowly, like we have been doing. And then, of course, if there is anything that stands out for you, shout in the chat. And then we will take a much, much more detailed look, because we have got quite a lot to take a look at. And just this pace of what I'm doing now, it takes about 2 hours for 6 pages, I think. There is only 1 page for the Western stuff. I say Western, it's history period, but there's a lot of Western things in there, some beautiful Japanese sets in here as well, which are very, very nice indeed. Sean, I do believe, is at the moment going through the parts list or building now. I'm not too sure which one is occurring with regards to that, but of course, let us know how you're getting on with your hunting down those parts, Sean, because I'm intrigued to know how many more parts you're going to have to order. If there's any of these that are jumping out at you, again, let us know, because we are in the smaller price point window. This looks like we've actually jumped by a couple, because there's only the 1 page. There could be quite a lot of larger sets. And it's always interesting how people do their own take on the themes. So again, you've got first time entries, you've got well-known names now that we've seen pop up quite a few times. There's the screen grab that I used, for example. I thought that was a really nice looking set for that one. But then you've got just different things like this. You've got stuff from like the Roman Empire, the really nice temples and all that kind of thing. It looks really smart with those minifigures. And again, it's something that you could potentially expand on. And yeah, it's just different. It looks nice. It's all good. So you can't really go too wrong with the Roman stuff. Would look nice maybe with the Colosseum. It's one of those that this is probably the only place you're ever going to get a set like this from, unless obviously you can just get the instructions and download it. And you're looking at 1.6. So if you think now that this is going to be over the £100 point already, it does seem to be that the Western sets are quite expensive compared to the castle, because obviously the castle stuff, there was lots and lots of different stuff, whereas this just seems to be going in at the large end. So the Stone Age from 7 Deadly Bricks. Now, I had a comment from 7 Deadly Bricks. He was in the chat and also on the video. He left a comment on the actual last couple of videos, so which is always really nice to see. So just this kind of thing with regards to the smaller base and just a nice looking thing. I'm not too sure what I'll be able to do with this though. I'm not too sure, because this is history period is what it's all classed under. Maybe Flintstones-esque, maybe? They sort of ride one of those, don't they, in the Flintstones? They have one of them running around somewhere, I think. So could potentially be a Flintstones type set, maybe. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm really thirsty and I want to open up that J2O can, but I don't know how I should approach it this evening. I'm not 100% sure on that one. So I might, if you see me suddenly get squirted again. Right, let's carry on back down. Right, the post office. So again, see, now this looks like one of the older sets that were available in the mid-90s. Now they're all polished designs, aren't they? Because have you noticed now that a lot of I suppose I noticed it more with the Death Star and how smooth the outer rim of that is. And now there's all of these sets literally don't have any studs on show on the buildings at all. They're all super smooth. And then they've added the layering on for the boarding. Whereas years gone by, they would be all knobbly and all that kind of thing, wouldn't they? So there's some really, really nice takes on stuff. But still think, obviously, I'm stupid enough to do a deep dive into everything, but some of the subcategories, as we've seen, you would think that they could potentially either have their own or maybe like a miscellaneous, because the castle was all the castle. That was simple enough. The fantasy was a little bit hit and miss. The space was near enough all space, but then there was one or two buildings that were merged in with the other bits. The buildings was an interesting category because there was so many different takes on that. But with this, I mean, you've got the really nice roof, you've got the different coloured bird's nest, you've got the sort of the rat or mouse just up on top. Then you've got a little cactus and all the other little bits and pieces that are on the go just at the back. So yeah, I think it's a nice thing. Oh, there we go. So Killian, I've just read that. So Killian says you'd have to pair it with the Flintstones. I agree with that. Good evening to Mr. J's Toy Collection UK. So Jay's extremely busy doing all toy news coverage at the moment as well. So apparently Shibo's gone. What's happened to you, Shibo? Woke you up? Are you with us? You all right? Yeah. Well, this is the conversation that we're having yesterday with regards to the Bricklink Designer Program. It is very much a case of some of the sets might just be on a Billy bookcase, and you hope for the best, because there's a few of us that I think would have gone in on the the Western theme if we knew more of the Western sets were coming. But because it's so sporadic and all sort of completely different bits and pieces, you say, oh, they'll never pick another one. They'll never pick another one. But you now have literally a full Western town that you could have, all at the same scale, all at the same size, all at the same whatever. Whereas something like this, for example, the Stone Age, it does look very good, but it would have to be more of a diorama piece, I would imagine. But yeah, I think that would be a Flintstone thing. Now, you've got the rice field. So this potentially you could use possibly in the Ninjago, as long as, before I get down to the bottom, the base isn't really high. So no, you could potentially get away with this in the sort of the Spring Lantern Chinese New Year add-ons. And again, there are some nice bits and pieces to go with this. So so the amazing thing is that the Western series, I am opening this well away from your mind. The Western series, oh god damn, did you hear that? That's outrageous. Why? It must just be a pressurized can. Oh, nasty. Yes, Killian. Yep. Yeah, they have got some nice stuff. It's difficult to get in the UK though, because you've got to get it from the different warehouses. But yeah, they have got some nice designs in there. But yeah, so this is the one I like with the koi, and you've got all the little different bits and pieces up at the top, and then it all wraps around on the side. So yeah, this does look nice. Again, it could be something that could be added into the display quite nicely, I think. Yeah, that's it. See, it's exactly that. It's really difficult to get in the UK as well. It's really easy to get in for the Americans. But yeah, lucky. So that's what I was saying. But Ultrabricks was saying that the Western series is the first series to have, I think, 3 sets put into production from the same designer. I do believe. So you can fact check me on that one, obviously. But I think there's 3 by the same designer, which is pretty impressive if we think about it. Right now we're at the Bandit Hideout. So again, lots of Western stuff within here. We're at 1,800 pieces now. And again, good parts usage with regards to all of these bits and bobs. This, I think, would look great in any way. They all would, wouldn't they? So like the Western stuff, if you haven't already got it, you'll be all the stuff that we're seeing at the moment, they haven't done in the Bricklink Designer Program. They have done some of these from way back when. And of course, there's multiple other companies that do go heavy on the mining sort of Western stuff as well. So, yeah, at the moment for the Western stuff, you're spoilt for choice with the different bits and pieces that you could get. There is some really very, very nice stuff that is about. But so far, with just going through at the pace that we are, is there anybody that is into any of these sets that we've seen so far? Has anything caught anybody's eye? God, that's got a kick to it. Right, so you've got the Adventures in Egypt. So again, this would go, well, Indiana Jones has got the old 97 Adventures stuff. This is just a much sort of fancier version of some of the adventure sets, isn't it? So I do like that big thing. I think that looks great. Loads of detail, and that's the other thing with this is they're just high detailed end. So yeah, it's all good, with regards to all these little bits and pieces. You got the little stinger on the end just there. But yeah, they've got nice minifigure selection. And you've got the other little bits and pieces. I'm trying to think for what Killian said. I think the one that stood out to me, Killian, because I can't see the chat at the moment, is the winter ski lift. But you just couldn't get it in the UK. So the design looked nice. The design did look nice. And this is, what is this? Resistance tank, apparently. So it's just full of cannons on the inside. There you go. That's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Having to go through one of those. Right. So a Wild West sheriff. So I'm sure everybody wants a sheriff in their set. So these now are getting quite big because we know how big the other ones are. They are huge to get your whole hands on. Risa could go next to your pyramid. Yeah, that's very, very true. The Western ones in Series 10 aren't as good as the prior ones to me. I think there was a very, very high bar set. Yeah, very, very good. So it's some really nice designs with some of these. But the problem is that you have been spoilt. And I don't know, again, like the Transylvania set from Sleepless Nights, if the designer has tried to do a Western set for Series 10, because they might spend so long designing the sets that they might not put their next entry until number 11. So you just have to wait and see what happens. But there's some nice bits in here. Again, lots of detailing on the inside. You can see we put on all the minifigures. You've got the little wanted poster on there. There's loads of little Easter eggs and all those different bits and pieces. So yeah, the builds are good, I think. But it's a tough one with what is already come out. That's the thing now, because it's like people want to vote for something that they've already got in their locker. So if you've already started to do the Western stuff, you would want something that would almost be at the same scale. So then it makes it even harder for other designers then to come through, because you're going to be more selective. This looks like it could go well with was it Bricklink, the one with the Art of Chocolate? Was it the Temple Ruins that they did? Which I still think is probably one of the most rarest Lego sets available now. Everybody just didn't like it. It broke. It was one of the only Bricklink sets that got put into production, but it just didn't gain any traction whatsoever. But I would imagine now that set would be worth an absolute fortune. And I think this would actually look quite nice with it as well. Do you like the colours? Do you like all the staircase and all the other little bits and pieces that are around it? So yeah, some nice little bits and pieces going on this one. And then you've got all of the hidden bits and pieces underneath, but that is the ruin. So again, I'd struggle with something like that in my own, even putting it in like with the medieval fantasy stuff. I think you might be able to get away with it close to the Lord of the Rings potentially, but I'm not too sure. I do like the look of it, but I don't think I could make that one. I don't think I can make that one work. Right, we've got another temple. So again, we're getting larger. We are getting bigger. Oh, I've just seen it. I've just seen the Wonka. So I can't share it. That's not very fun. So it just says Wonka, 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 Wonka. So I can see it, Ryan. So I can't share the Wonkas on the screen. Everybody else can see it in the chat, but it's what I can see. So when I said it's got a key word, that's what it is. And if you look in the chat, Ryan, I have put Oompa Army as well. So I've got Wonka. I've got the other. So this is the new one I put on. I found a really dodgy thing. I thought, that has made me chuckle. So It was such a bad photo. So, but I can just see those images encoding. So I share it on the screen for everybody. So what the coding I can see is that. So if I put filthy words, I've got to be really careful because one of them is Willie. So got to be careful with that. Ultra Brick says, I think the main Western design in set series 9, the blacksmiths, they have another one. Maybe, yeah, they might do alternate ones. Yeah, that's it. They might do ones on that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, go with Lost City. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, fingers crossed. I know what Killian's talking about. So yeah, John knows the difficulties of getting them in the UK. That's true, actually. A purple 17 room would look a lot like Snake Man. It would, but the annoying thing is I've got them. Jane's gone for Snoopy. That's a good set, that Jane. Yeah, so that is a good looking set. So yeah, I have added in the on the channel membership. You've now got a choice of Willy and Wonka with 2 really dodgy photos. Now this, I think, is very, very special. I think this has got packed of detail on here with regards to all of the trees, all of the other little bits and pieces. Yeah, I think this looks really very, very nice. All the detailing across the bottom. I do like the kitten, the bone, everything that goes across there. I think looks really very, very smart indeed. This is, I think this is up there. I think this is a really clean looking set. Again, looking at it from a theme park perspective, is something they have got at Legoland Billund, because this sort of double shop with the bits and pieces up top is how they've got their gift shop. Basically, you've got one door in, one door out, but obviously the rest of the land is also Western, and that's really annoying because that is literally Legoland Billund. That, and I've completely screwed the pooch on that one. But everybody that's liked the video so far, guys, thank you very much indeed. And then yeah, thank you very, very much indeed for that. Reese, very, very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Just a little something you've been putting in the graph. Well, I do appreciate that, Reese. Thank you very much indeed. So no, it's very, very, very kind. I don't know. Yeah, I can do that, can't I? Yeah, that's very, very kind. So I can like it, and I can like that, and I can I do what else can I do with that? Thank you very much. Yeah, that's very, very kind of you, Reese. So I am catching up with the chat as it goes through. Yeah, Ultra Bricks has said the Lumi Brick sets are great, reasonable price. They are very true. Yeah, you can. That's the ones you can get on Amazon. You can indeed. Yeah. What are we going through? What we said? Yeah, that's it. Well, that's what I've got. Yeah, so what I've got on here, because I've typed it in, is where is it? I've just seen it. So there it is. Look. So that's what I see. So I just got the word Willy, which is fantastic. So I can see all of the key words. So yeah, very, very appreciate that one. No, that's very, very kind. So yeah, I'll say it again. I'm not going to be a broken record and going about it, but there is now a little channel membership thing running, and of course, Ryan is enjoying his Willy Wonka privilege, and it's there on the channel now. We'll be doing like members live streams and all that kind of nonsense as the future goes on. But that went live lunchtime today. I think that we managed to figure all those bits and pieces out. So you've got the bucket with the water on the side, which again looks really very, very smart. And then yeah, see loads. This I think's got this packs a punch, and this looks like it's the actual build though. Can you see? So they're not. That's the render, but that is the detailing. So that is what we are looking at. So that's all the detailing on the back. That's the rooftop. So I do like seeing some of the actual builds as well. We know that they have to have the rendered images going along with it, but it is quite nice to see that. And then you've got all of this beautiful these beautiful bits and pieces as well. So that's very, 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 very good. Very, very good to see. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to start off with a Willy Wonka fund, and when enough money gets put to the side in about 2 years, then I'll be able to put that in and actually get the Willy Wonka. So yeah, that's it. It is all the information. If you want to check it out, all the flipping information's on the join tab on the actual page. You can see it all and all the little perks and all that kind of thing. Right, so you've got the tree, you've got the nice minifigures. I do, again, like all the texture that they've added onto that. That's one of the first time I've seen one of these in some of the Western sets. I'm sure they've been about before, but that's a really clever parts usage of this. Yeah, so I think that's very, very, very clever, because obviously I don't think I've seen these big things up on any of the Western sets before. Again, it just looks nice. It's got the nice staircase. You've got the bits and pieces up top and down below. So yeah, I think this one out the Western stuff, because it's a thing that I'm now not obviously into, because I've missed I've now obviously don't actually have any room in my collection for it now. Obviously, you guys and girls know what I'm doing with my theme park display. But I think that's the one that's caught my eye. But because there is some other buildings in here as well, I think some of them you might like, because there's some other Japanese type stuff and all the other little bits and pieces like that as well. So yeah, it does work. I think it works. I think it works quite nicely. Where are we through? Let me just catch up, make sure we're all up to date with everything. Yeah, so we're looking at the gingerbread castle. I know. So I want to be having a look at that gingerbread castle as well. Yeah, if we got time, we'll have a look at that gingerbread castle at the end, because I do want that. I think it just needs to be in my Winter Village display for 2026. So this again's nice. Got all the different rooms on the back. You've got all the checkered bits and pieces. You've got all the stuff up top. So yeah, that is very, very nice indeed. What are we saying? Oh, fair enough. Yeah, get it in there. Yeah, see, it's got to be done. So Killian says the Lone Ranger was the last West. I think it was, yeah, and that's quite a lot of money now as well. I think that is very, very. I think they are quite a lot of money. Yeah. So Reese says really like the Western sets. Jane says, yep, they're cool. And Ultrabrick says, yeah, the Ginger Castle is elite. The Ginger Castle, the Gingerbread Castle, is naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. So for the benefit of the people that have no idea what I am talking about, there is a free to download Lego instructions on Rebrickable by a Bricklink designer winner, and it's this. And I'm all in on this. I am going to do this. This is going to be in my Winter Village collection for 2026. Sean is currently looking through his inventory of pieces, and it's just a big thing. But for me, this is absolutely perfect for my gingerbread village that I am doing for 2026, and it was only brought to my attention today, so I will be looking at the rest of the Rebrickable stuff in a different live stream, along with obviously the Lego Ideas sets as well. So yeah, there's a lot of bits and pieces. Yeah, HK's caught it. Yes, yeah, you set everybody off. You've set everybody off with that. So yeah, there's some good bits and bobs, in that. So yeah, we'll be taking a deep dive into that as well. So yeah, if you're a fan of all the Rebrickable bits and pieces, we will be taking a look, and seeing exactly what happens with all of those. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, there we go. So Ryan, if you are lurking in the background, can you do us a favor and just put all of the emojis on the screen so I can actually see them for the first time properly? Yeah, exactly that, Sean. Exactly. HK, what have you started? There you are in the background laughing to yourself, and I'm like, oh, that's outrageous. Yeah, very true. Yes, you can actually they actually have their actual proper hilt and lightsaber builds at some of the Lego shows and conventions. You can actually build them. You can actually see them, buy them built, rather than having to download the instructions and source your pieces yourself. So that's always quite cool. So they've got some really nice, basically light size lightsabers. So yeah, I think they there's lots of different sort of versions of Rebrickable bits and pieces. Ryan, thank you very much indeed. So Ryan has gifted 5 memberships. So that will now, I do believe, pick at random. They're fucking. That is extremely, extremely kind. Thank you very, very much indeed. Let me have a look on a different. There we go. So it. Of all people, all the people that has got them. Jay's just been gifted it. Oh, it does it at random, by the way. So how it works is, oh, I can't believe Jay's, of all the people, Jay's just got a membership. Oh, that's made me laugh. That has made me laugh. Yeah, it's just at random. So thank you very much for that, Ryan. So that means now it's just a little bit more fun for people. And yeah, thank you very much indeed. That is stuff that you can do with that inside the program. You guys and girls can just have a little bit. It's just basically makes the chat a little bit more banter and all that kind of thing as well. So yeah, there'll be more emoji type stuff coming. Just random, folks. Didn't know why Jay got one. So you can see you got 4 different symbols. We've got 2 for Ryan because obviously he loves his Willy Wonka. I think I now can create more because we're now technically up to 6 members now. So I can add more in. So for the next live stream, let me know what it is you would like, because I can give you more bits and pieces. You obviously you guys know how it all works on that kind of thing. But no, that is very, very kind of you, Ryan. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, it's just the channel membership. It's just the join button, and that's just where you hit the like button. It's just above it. And then, yeah, that's it. You changes your name to a different color, and then the longer you're a member, it gives you yourself different perks as well. So it's just a quite nice thing to share with everybody. But no, that is extremely kind. So yeah, we will have to see what we can do with the Willy Wonka fun now. So I don't know actually. How can I? Let me do. There we go. That's what I can do. There we go. We can put that on the. We can leave that on the screen. So that is very, very kind. Yeah, I don't know if Jay's just lurking in the background. I can't. Honestly, of all the people to get it, I can't believe it just randomly went to Jay. Of all the people that I'd just be like, why? Oh, that's tickled me. That has actually tickled me. Right. So this is another. This reminds me of one of the older play sets. This reminds me of sort of like the mid 90s. I do like this sort of texture on the front. It's sort of like it's not so much of a traditional roof because they're all different colors, but it's the red that stands out. It's like when it's like this, you're like, oh yeah, it's like a proper fort, and that's what it says on the front. And I've seen these sort of in the past. So yeah, it's so all I've got now on the screen is I've got the keywords Wonka, splash, smell, Willy. That's all I've got. So we're in the chat at the moment because I'm using the fancy software. I'm just seeing everything in code that what I wrote. So for the toilet, I wrote smell. I thought you lot would see it, but it's me. So that's why I keep laughing. I'm reading the chat going, it says smell. Oh, it's the golden toilet. That's what it is. So there's the safe. Again, with the Western stuff, I think I want to say the Western stuff had the was it one of the first sets that had the coins? Because the notes were around for a while, weren't they? There you go. So Killian says that's nice. You can split it apart. Yep, 4. Yep. There we go. James says reminds of childhood as well. I think the Western theme was it did introduce the coins. I think it did introduce the coins. Or was it the pirates had the coins? Oh, so the Western had the notes, did it? Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's one thing they've never changed. It's always been 100 stud. It's been 100 stud thing. Ryan, you are extremely kind. So there's another 5 memberships for people that Ryan has shared with him. And again, it's at random. You're going to be getting these as well. So thank you very much indeed. But yeah, it's all at Lucky Dip, and you have to have something turned on your own profile to receive it as well. So yeah, you need to have like the subscription thing turned on to be able to actually be selected, if that makes sense. So that's another thing that you just need to make sure that you've got. But this looks great, I think. Jane, that's very kind. So Jane doesn't have a golden toilet. So I'm sorry, Jane. Yeah. And by the way, guys, they're not free. So what Ryan's just done for everybody, he's actually just paid a little bit of money to give all of you that membership. So that is extremely, extremely kind from Ryan. So thank you very much indeed for kickstarting the little channel membership group that we're going to be having on here. Yeah. So what you can do, Jane, there's like a little subscription thing. So when you can like subscribe to people's channels, and it sort of costs like $1.99 or $2.99 a month, and it gives you like little perks, but you have to just have that turned on. You don't have to subscribe to anything, but you've just got to have it turned on, and then for the membership, it will then allow you to take part. I do believe that's how it works, but this is all new to me as well. So yeah, you just got to have that turned on. Now I do like this, obviously, for obvious reasons, because it's got a Japanese feel to it. Oh, I say Japanese feel to it. It's a Japanese castle. So let me just go back through all of this, because that's extremely very, 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 very kind. So we have got who just received all of those then. So DGI says thank you. JJ has received a gift. Roaming Bricks, Gumming Imperial, Brixie received. And yeah, so very, very kind. So it's what you've got to do. You've got to click allow gift memberships. So in the chat, if you scroll up a little bit, in the chat, it should say, you should see it, Jane. So if you scroll up a little bit more, Jay, can you just explain to Jane what needs to be? Oh, there we go. Oh, already have it on. That's all right then. There you go. Wow, just uploading a video and got gifted a membership. I was about to say gym membership then. Good grief. So all I'm seeing in the chat at the moment is this. It's just willies everywhere. That's all I'm seeing, because it's oh God, I'm gonna have to do other things. So in the chat, which I think now it's gonna allow me to add another 5 or 6 of those emojis. Let me know what it is that you would like. And Ryan, I think you will get first pick, because it's only fair that Ryan was, of course, the first member to the channel, and now has just done 10 memberships to everybody, which is outrageously kind. So thank you very much indeed. And I know I sound like a broken record, but very, 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 very kind. So there we go. My Willie is currently shipping from China. So right, are you sure? Is it not a third? Is it not a third one you want, like a Wonka bar? We can do a Wonka bar for you. And yeah, so there was the five gifts at the top. So no, that is amazingly kind. We can add all sorts of little bits and pieces. Yeah, so we can add maybe an Ninjago one in there. We can add like a Lego brick in there. There's other little bits and pieces that we can add and do. Yeah, so no, that's yeah, I can't really say too much else apart from that's very, very kind. So no, I'm a bit taken back by that as well. I'm not yeah, very, very nice. So I do believe that this was a lot of people's favorites as well. I think this was the playset that everybody's remembered of from here. I think this is the one that I think will bring back quite a few memories for people. I think this is literally the bigger version of the Wild West Fort from '97, isn't it? Is it '97 or older than that? Is it? Was it the under the Lego System days? Lego Western Fort. It was item number 6769, in case anybody cares. So that'd be 6769. Let's have a look on. I'm going to find it for you. Bricklink. 6769 is the set number. 6769. 6769. Where are we? So, well, put it this way. You would want this, what you're looking at right now on your screen, you want this to be put through. Because if you like the looks of it and want to try and backtrack it, this is the old set. So it's from 1996. Now, this set from 1996, hold your breath, it is £740 new. So it's 740 to £1,400 new. Used, it's 170 to 538. So if anybody has this new and boxed at the moment and it gets redone, I don't know how much that's going to hamper the older one. So if you think this would come out at a maximum price of around 350, I would imagine. And there we go. Killian says, I'm sure it's a remake from the mid-90s. Absolutely. Jay's upgraded. I've just seen Jay's comment. Upgraded to the golden toilet. Yeah, that's it. My first Lego City table's done, and now I have 25 box sets in the living room. Ouch. Yeah, that is a biohazard, that one. Yeah, so Jay needs this for. I think so. Yeah, it's I know this is what I know a few of you wanted this one. So yeah, that's it. Need that for. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, bearing in mind it is this is the kind of thing that the Bricklink can do. They could just redo an older set that the Lego group aren't going to do, and then before you know it, it could hamper it. So love a fort, says Reese. There we go. Reese loves the old fort, which is always a good thing. Yeah, you've got all the little bits and pieces in on the inside, and again, it's a Legoland. It's a Legoland thing, because I think the Western Fort at some of the Legolands is a little play area. I think they've got Ninjago play areas and they've got the castle ones. They don't really tend to go too heavy on the Western stuff. They've got they have got bits and pieces, but the big theme for Western at Legoland is Billund. That's the big one. Yeah, Killian went into his dark ages by then. Yeah, so I think so. So yeah, I need you guys and girls to let me know in the chat what little emojis you would like next. Jane says Lego never went away here. Well, you can't go wrong with that then. So no, that's always good. So have you got all of your sets from young to old, Jane? No dark ages in the middle? There was not like a period where you just didn't start to collect, or stopped collecting the different bits and pieces. Right, so that's the Wild West stuff and the history stuff, the Japanese stuff done. So moving on to the next page. Nice and simple, nice and easy. So again, if you are a designer and all that kind of stuff, we'll jump to trains. Have a quick look at the trains and take the history and period stuff away. Again, start from small to big. Now, again, Santa's Workshop. I think we've seen that one already. That was it in the smaller one? No, actually, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. Hang on. I hear the door. No, that was Pumpkin messing about and running about. So yeah, you've got end of the line on this one. Again, nice carriages, nice little locomotive at the front. Lots of different bits and pieces going on. Do like a little truck, all the minifigures, the ramp and all that kind of thing. So yeah, again, just like we did previously, just shout at me if you want to look at something in more detail. If not, we'll just keep it at this pace as we're going through. Do you like said this a lot now. I do like all these extra add-ons that they seem to be doing. It's just a lot of little extra touches on there, which of course they would be custom stickers or prints, don't forget. So that would change the way. But there it is. There's the end of the line, and that looks like it's the one that's built. So that's a pretty cool looking thing, isn't it? So yeah, no, I do like the look of that. So so no Lego style change though. So with regards to everybody else, did anybody when did anybody have a dark age? And if you did have a dark age, when did you come back into it? And if you didn't have a Dark Age, when did you start buying the much larger sets? Oh, this is what Jay wanted to know. Please share this on screen. Just playing my Willy. There we go. So what you're reading, because don't forget the chat is available for anybody that's watching this back on the replay. So I've always had the chat available. Takes about 24 hours for it to actually come back. So if you do watch this on the replay, you can watch it with the chat, so you can keep along with what I'm saying. So I'm not just talking to myself, and not the stuff that you're seeing on your phone or on the telly, whatever, is just like me sharing those comments. But the whole chat that is down the side, it is available for you to see. So Ultra Bricks came back into Lego 3-4 years ago. So what was your first big set you bought, Ultra Bricks? That's the question. So Jane went from Lego Friends and Lego Elves to Potter, Fantasy, and Medieval. So that's a big step up then. So you, that's not too bad at all. DGR said yes, I had one, came back this year. Fair enough, not too bad, not too bad at all. Killian was just in his teenage years, so I still think Jay's going to make good use of that golden toilet. I think, I can see Jay having a golden throne. So yeah, I'll come up with some more images for everybody tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. But I know there's a lot of people that do like trains. I think, let's be honest, they all look great as a build. I don't think Lego does enough of them, because even the crocodile train that they did, the brown one that was on the separate track, that sold really well. And then that got motorized and all that kind of thing. So you can see that all of these are motorized. Obviously, the last train that they did do was the Big Express, but the crocodile one was another Lego Ideas set. So actual Lego group themselves, unless it's Potter, doesn't tend to do too many trains. What have we got? We've got the Gateway set was the X-Wing, the first one for the Cantina, then spiraled out of control. Yeah, it happens. That does happen. Yeah, so Jay was 22 years collecting in a row from me. Apart from Lego, though, Jay, wasn't it? So the Lego years you've just got into. So Jay collected 22 years in a row, but everything else apart from Lego, I think. In a row, I'm trying to think what you're talking about. I see Jay's moved the eyeball as well. And well, during the 80s and 90s, there was nothing but Lego for me. Yep. And there was a time when I was 16, 17, dipped back in. Then I became a dad for the first time. Yeah, and then it all went wrong. That's it. And now what do? You end up making amazing things for your kids to play with, and it's all good fun now. So those building days with the Lego bricks have now made you get a 3D printer, and now you're enjoying your time with your family even more. So the Dark Ages were worth it by the sounds of it. HK says, I love Medieval Castle. Yeah, I agree with that. So we did a huge live stream on that yesterday for the Medieval Castles. So if you are bored and want to sort of look back at some of those sets, then they are all there. We started this stream off again with like the last 7 or 8 castles again, just as the notifications went out. But yeah, because there's so much detail. Like with the castles, I have to do this kind of thing, where you look at all the different bits and pieces. But again, with this, there's lots and lots of detail going on, because this is another junction box, isn't it? I think this might have been the what? Is this a different junction box? Oh, I don't know. Because there was one of them that we thought would do quite well as a junction box, but it had the track with it. So again, we've got to pay attention to these, because there's obviously a couple of different junction boxes, signal boxes, and all that kind of stuff that they've done. But this one does look very, very clean and tidy. So yeah, that's a nice thing. So again, with regards to the train stuff on Bricklink, if you think now we've got big train stations, they've done workshops, they've done other little bits and pieces as well. So yeah, there's lots of different bits and pieces that are on there. This looks very, very nice, that set. So let's just catch back up with everybody. So it says, how do you so the motor is a separate purchase, that will be. So you can motorize a lot of the trains. It's available to buy. It's like a little clay ball that clicks in. So yeah, there's a lot of different bits you can do. My first set was a Lego Friends Treehouse when I was 4. My first Harry Potter set was the older Hogwarts version. Happy days. So when Jane was only 4 years old, was already building an advanced Lego Friends set. When I was 4 years old, I was probably like I am now, just dribbling, I would imagine. I think my biggest set's Rivendell. Tell you what, that is a proper serious set to have as well. I think we can all agree that the Rivendell set, at the moment, it hasn't lost a poll. I don't think the Rivendell set has ever lost a poll. I do like that on the side. I think that's a very, very clean looking thing. This would work, if you think about it, this would work really well in loads of your cities. That I like the look of as well. I think that's so clever with the lawnmower going through and coming down. And you've got you've got all the little bits and pieces that are on there. So you've got the old whacker and all the other little bits and pieces. Yeah, that does look really nice. Skateboard's just about to get splattered by the tram on that one. And the fact it's got your Legoland on there and a yoga symbol on the side. Yeah. I think that looks nice. I think that's potential. That's actually got massive potential, I think, for almost like an entry one. Yeah, so I think that looks really, really nice. So remember what I do is I'll look through a couple of them and then I'll catch back up with the chat after. So I'll get through sort of 3 or 4 of them. But that's your city tram. So the network. Let's just check the brick count on this because obviously we are 2001, 2041. So we're at the expensive stuff already. Yeah. But again, I like this. I like the fact that you've got the underground system because this potentially, if you had the skill and if you could just repeat this a few times, you could make a fair bit out of this. But it's just an expensive thing to do. And again, they've got the Legoland symbol, the octane symbol on there. So yeah, lots and lots of detail in these, like the vending machine. Just little things like that stand out to me. You've got a little wanted poster as well. That's a cute little thing. And then you've got all the bits and pieces on the top. So you've got, again, we saw some of these, didn't we, in the smaller buildings, so like the news kiosks and the newspapers and all that kind of stuff. There was some nice bits and pieces that were on there. So, and again, you got a good track. If you wanted to, I guess you could change the gauge or gauge. Is it gauge? Gauge? If you had some of the older ones, or you wanted to put like a monorail or tram or whatever it is in there. But no, that's just your standard wheelbase that you can plonk that on and carry on with. So I think that looks really very, very, very smart. Right, let's carrying back on. So how many? It's just a page, isn't there? Yeah, there's only a I'm on page 2. What am I on page 2 for? Where did we start? Oh, I'll have to go to page 1 then. That wasn't it. That was nearly a disaster, wasn't it? Right, so nearly missed all those as well. That's bizarre. I don't know why that started on page 2, but never mind. So we'll just tuck through all of these. I do like the colours on these. I do like the brighter stuff. Of course, I say this in every single live stream. There is full detail available for the description of everything. So if you want to find out exactly what locomotive this is and what sort of period it was from, then obviously you can do, and you can tuck into all those different bits and pieces. Yeah, so it's a cool looking thing, these. And of course, I think it does seem to be that now people would like some more trains to go with. So the Bricklink designer. Oh yeah, see, nice little Bricklink designer program on there. So people would like something like this because look at that built. That looks very, very good. So let's be honest. If that was going around your Lego track, you would not be disappointed with that as an end result, would you? You would not be disappointed with that as a end result at all. So no, that does look really very, very nice indeed. Right, so we've got another heavy duty steam locomotive. So obviously the train fans are so detailed with those little bits and pieces, and it's wasted on me, to be honest, because I appreciate a good looking set, but like cars, for example, I know that, but you can see it's articulated, so it makes sense. That would be difficult for me because I got my set so close to the track that it would probably actually end up hitting the set. But it's different. I've never seen something like that. So that does look very nice. And you can see there you've got all the different bits and pieces where I think you might be able to motorize it on the side. So, and again, you've got choice by the looks of it, and you've got choice on the back of those two. So you can mix and match the back, mix and match the front, and that's what it looks like with the minifigures that are on there. So yeah, it does look really very, very nice. Yeah, so you can't go too wrong with that one. Right, where are we with this? So we've got the Continental Express. There we go. So you've got all of those different bits and pieces that are on the inside. You've got the nice windows on this one, haven't you? So you can see to the left and right on this one. This is one that I think this is the one that some of them we have gone through just at this pace, nice and steady. Again, just I keep checking the chat for a second every few designs just to make sure. Yeah, so Reese says I think the signal box design is a nice design. So I think they will do well. But this is the crazy thing. We've just looked at the Western stuff, but there's now a Wild West train station. So this is why it's worth going through all of these, because some of them aren't in. I would have thought the Western train station would have been in the Wild West stuff, but it's not in both. So I will catch up with all of the chat in a second. I'll get to that train station and then I'll shoot back up and see what is occurring with that, because I can see loads of flickers going on, which is always nice to see you guys and girls chatting amongst each other. Right, you can soak this thing in, because this looks, well, you guys and girls, if you've got the train and you've got any of the other Western stuff, this is exactly the kind of scale and size is what you guys and girls would need in your collection. Right, so Jay says, I've got a life-size Grumpy plush in the living room. So new Disney plan is underway, apparently. There we go. Jay's always got these plans. What we got? Wasn't a fan of... right, let's have a look. So yeah, so Reese says... I think the signal boxes are quite a nice design too. I built one of the shopping centres, says Killian. I like the friend builds, but got on for the mini dolls. Yeah, so I think the Lego friend stuff, if that's what you're talking about, is amazing. The designer, I've just seen Jane said, the designer, she has moved on to do the, oh God, the TV program. So like Brickmasters or whatever it is, but the big, but she presents it over in the States. Jay's got a new Snow White set for Valentine's Day. You spoil him too much, Cheeky Monkey. You spoil him too much. So shout out to Cheeky Monkey, who is Jay's much better half. What we all want to know now, though, Jay, is what have you got her for Valentine's Day? Apart from a headache and a migraine. Lego Masters, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, she's amazing. Amy, that's the lady. Amy, amazing presenter. So because Amy's got her own mini doll as well. So Amy's in those sets. But yeah, this looks incredible. So yeah, if you're a Western fan, I got a funny feeling. I think I saw this in Series 9, and it didn't get through. So this is why this is bringing back memories for me for this. Yeah, very, very smart. You've got all the horses, you've got all the bits and pieces on the side of it. So I am lost. Hang on. I'll catch up with that. So I'm trying to put two and two together. I'm sure I read that Cheeky Monkey bought Jay the set. So you bought Kiara the Winnie the Pooh, and then she bought you that one back. Ah, right. Fair enough. And also, well, I can. I know what you guys and girls can see, but for the people watching at home, apparently. That is what Jay is going to be giving Cheeky Monkey for Valentine's Day. And apparently it's 3.5 foot long. Good grief. That is sore in the morning. So you got tickets, Brick City, five. I like that. Brick City, Stud Valley, $5, $3. Very, very nice indeed. And then you've got all of these little bits and pieces on the side. So again, you've got the tickets, you've got the money on the side, and then you've got these in here. So yeah, I thought I recognized this name. I thought I recognized the name. So yes, this is the one. This is why it looks so familiar, because it is, isn't it? I've just seen Ultra Bricks. So if you guys and girls, or Jay included, has got the Western sets, this is now going to be. Is this the one that's won a lot? It is, isn't it? So is this the fourth design that they've done? Because you know it's just going to be perfect scale. You just if it is the same designer, you guys are so lucky that got the Wild West stuff from the beginning, because you are spoiled. And this is also a nice looking thing as well with regards to the locomotive depot. That we have had other variations of the depots, but it does seem to be, if you think from earlier seasons, there's been a lot of train winners with regards to oversized stations, depots, side rails, all of that kind of stuff. So the train theme seems to do another one. And yeah, I don't think Jay would have spotted that before, but yes, because it wasn't in the Western tab. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So yep, same designer, so another buy. Yeah. So if that one gets put through, yeah, so don't forget, DJI, there is 5 sets that get put through. It's 5 sets. But the problem is that it's what's the 5 standout sets. So is anybody starting to make a short list? Because it's always nice to know, because if you start thinking, well, actually, we now know that some of the instructions will go to rebrickable, then, you know, you've got to almost leave space in advance and all that kind of thing. So it's definitely worth doing the research on this. What is this? Experimental steam-powered suspended train. Okay. It's like a Back to the Future type thing, is it? This could be a fun little set for everybody. So you've got all the newspapers and all the other little bits and pieces that are on there. You've got the workshop putting all the bits and bobs together. Yeah, very nice. So I wonder, you've got all the Technic builds and all that kind of thing on there. Yeah, that looks very, very smart. Very, very smart. Now, obviously, I missed, because I'm an idiot, standard. I missed the first page, didn't I? So let's just go back to the first page very quickly. Did I not click on these? No. Yes, I did. Didn't I? No, was that the other signal box? No, I didn't click on these. Right. We'll just because how are we doing for time? We're all right. So let's have a look. See. So let's have a look. So we've got all sorts of different bits and pieces on there. Yeah, so Killian, that design, that set that we've just seen, the winner from that has designed loads of them already. So I don't know how many years. When did how many years ago was the first Western set by that designer? Because you would imagine that he would have designed tons of them already, and then it kind of starts to ask questions of where some of these sets do actually appear from. Because the Western theme, obviously, everybody just designs sort of the same things. Obviously, if you need a train station, they're going to pretty much look the same because of, well, it's a Western design, isn't it? And it's the same thing with the actual Western trains and all that kind of stuff as well. So, yeah, all the way back from Series 1. Yeah, all the way back from Series 1. That was a little while ago now. So that would have been 24. It was 24, I do believe. But I remember watching. I was in a lay-by in my truck when the Series 1 first went live. So I don't know if it was the end. Was it the end of 23 that would have been announced, or start of 24? I'm trying to remember how many years ago that was now. But yeah, there's some nice trains, nice trams, all sorts of different bits and pieces on here that you, again, to be fair, I would be all in on a Thomas. I would have a Thomas Land in my display, the old school Thomas, not this new absolute sack of turd that they are now doing I don't even know what it is. It looks awful. Yeah, I think if you've ever seen any of the new Thomas Tank Engine stuff, it's just worth literally shaving your own eyeballs because it's that terrible. Very clever how you can. I'm assuming that's the motor, isn't it? Is that the pack? So you can actually keep it on the inside. I think that is. So you could. That's how you motorize it. I think. So that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool looking thing. But yeah, make use of your new emojis. Again, massive thanks to Ryan for doing that as well. 10 memberships was very, very, very generous. So yeah, you've got that. I do believe that runs for the whole month. I think you've got the membership for now, so you can wind each other up. I do need to know from you what other emojis you would like, and then we can add some more in there. And then over a period of time, there will be more other customization stuff as well. So you will have other customization stuff besides your names and all that kind of thing. So that's all good. That's all good fun. Now again, the narrow gauge locomotive. So we're now, when obviously because I've done it in the reverse order, we're still at 1,186 pieces. So they are big. They are big sets. These. You can see how that also just moves around on the Technic bit. So it's just a standalone display piece. So you can have the wheels moving. That's a clever little design. So that would just be one that you'd have on a Billy bookcase if you would want something like that. So yeah, little minifigure, plaque and plinth dotted around it, and you'd be fine. No, you just got to let me know. I've got to do them, and then you get access to them, DJI. So there's the minifigures. They look nice. And then yeah, you got all the trains and all the other little bits and bobs that are on there. So good shout. Jay says need the logo. Could do that. I think we've got 5 more that we can do, don't we? So we can add those in. I was thinking of maybe doing a Lego brick or something. So can I add something on there? I can't do it now. I have to do it in the morning or after the stream. After the stream finishes, I'm assuming that I can. So we'll see. I don't know how long it takes for everything to get active. So I don't know. We're learning as we go. Basically, we are learning as we go. Brick Railroad steam train. Honestly, me and Jay are like glass. By the way, I cannot believe of all the people, it was him. This idiot here, of all the thing. Press the face button to use them. What face button? What are you on about? You talking to me or somebody else? Oh, right. You're not talking to me. Okay. I was like, me? No, it's not me. But yeah, I can't believe Jay, of all the people, Jay's got a membership. Unreal. Unreal. Honestly, if it was me, my laptop would have exploded. That's the opposite. It's like if somebody had done that and I was in the chat, I would have been hit in the face with a keyboard. I got soaked by a pressurized J2O yesterday. I mean, it's like how luck difference is it? I mean, Jay's living the dream. The cheeky monkey has bought him a nice new Lego set. He's been gifted a channel membership, and I'm sat here on a floor, scared to drink the rest of this J2O. This is the other signal box, isn't it? So there's 2 signal boxes. Both of them are great, but which one do you prefer? Because they're both at different price points, clearly. So this is at a lower price point, less pieces, smaller size, but you still get a couple of bits of track. So it's 2 lengths of track that you get on this one. Where I think the other one is slightly larger. Hang on, Pumpkin. Go by the window. Yeah, come on. Which way are you going? So I'm just letting Pumpkin's trying to get the windowsill. So there we go. That's it. She's on the windowsill, sat on the radiator. She's a fluffy cat, but she just wants a warm bum. So. Oh, is that how it works? Oh, I didn't realize that. So Jay says gifted memberships go by watch time order. So I must be your most viewer. Lucky. So you weren't the first though, Jay, I don't think. You're in the first batch, but I don't know if you were you the first? Reese. Oh, there's a GoFundMe coming down, coming down, coming down. Oh, it was. Do it. I take that back. I take that back. So, yeah. Maybe. Does it go by the time in this live stream, though? Maybe it must be by this live stream because Reese is relatively new to the channel, I think. Unless, Reese, have you been lurking in the background for all these live streams and you've just come in to say hello recently? So, but yeah, Jay was the first. So, of all the people, Jay was the first one to receive. Shocking. So this was the style that got done through the Lego Ideas. So this kind of style has already been done. But again, I think loads of people go mad for that. So this is called the Pregnant Woman, apparently. I'm just reading what it says on the screen. I'm not lying with that. So there you go. So I'm not too sure. So Jay's saying it goes by watch time order, but it must be for this live stream. Because Reese is new and was the second one on the list. So right, okay. We're learning. So that's fair enough. Right, carrying on. It's all new to me. Sean, how are you getting on? If you're still lurking in the background, how are you getting on with your deep dive, by the way? We just need a pair of eyeballs and we need to know what's going on. But this I do like. I like the Lego system, the old school train. This brings back memories as well for this kind of thing. So I need to know from the individual that is trying to brick out the amazing castle, how many pieces he is short. Because we're warning you now, 321, you are going to get absolutely bombarded on your Bricklink or Brick Owl, or whichever is the easiest to do, to order a load of pieces for this set. So that's how it's going to work. That is definitely going to get done. That is going to be a very, very long live stream to put that together. That's for sure. But yeah, I think that would be a fantastic one. So this is I do believe this is the Swiss train. This is the one that I was thinking about earlier on with regards to the paramedic reviews all the way around. I'm here looking. I tell you what, that's what we need. We need a Batman symbol. That's what we need. Rather than a pair of eyeballs, we could have you with a. There we go. That's what we need on there. We need a Batman symbol. There it is. Okay. But yeah, I suppose you've got to have it turned on as well, don't you? That's the other thing, Jay. If I remember right, you were saying that it has to be. You have to have something turned on to receive a gift. Now, I've never turned anything on in my life. God, sounds awful. Yeah, it's God, that sounds really bad. It's all new, so I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of these are just obviously higher end collector's models from the Lego City train bits and pieces, but the trams will do really well. The other bits and bobs do well. So you got a little level crossing just there. Again, with a really detailed bit. You've got a wind-up thing by the looks of it, which means you can actually have the barrier. There we go. The barriers will go up and back down again. So you've got the moving parts. And then you've got all the nice road plates on here as well. So how many parts do you think you're in? So these parts are wearing thin. But how many do you think you're in? What do we reckon it is? I want to know how deep you are, because I wouldn't even know where to start with mine. I've got boxes. I haven't got any pieces in spare boxes. I've just got sets that might just get ripped apart just to be able to do it. All the little bits and pieces that are on there. Look, there's another toilet. We can't go wrong with a loo. So there you go. That's the time where you can use your golden toilet emoji now. Look, every time we spot one of them, that could be the next thing that you see, because it's a growing trend. There is more and more toilets being shown in all of the went the wrong way then. All of these different sets. So there's the mole train. Again, nice scale, nice size on those. I do like how they've done a really good job with a lot of the tracks, with all the bits and pieces on the side for a lot of these sets. That if you notice how the tracks just a few steps up, lots of posts as well. They've mixed and matched the junk mail. I think I saw that there's some new prints on there. There's some relatively new prints from newer sets, so that's pretty smart. And then that's it built. So that's a nice thing. So yeah, so you can put your golden toilets in, and all I can see, look, is splash. Reese has put plop splash. So there we go. I'll share what I can see with everybody, and then you lot can see it in the actual chat itself. That's just bizarre. There we go. I'm sure the golden thrones are starting to come through. Oh, it's never not going to be funny. Yeah, so that's nice. I do like the look of that. So the Silver Storm steam train. Again, I know a lot of these will be famous trains. Some of these might be really long, like the really long American trains that where you're on the train for a long period of time, for like a week or so. So I know you can still do some of those sort of. There was one, there was a few actually that you now obviously can't do for obvious reasons due to war side of stuff. But yeah, there's some nice bits. So that is all of those, I think. That's our the last two. Sorry, nearly missed the last two. Don't want to do that. So there's another locomotive for this one. So with regards to what we're looking at next, what would people like to look at next? Do you want to look at the art stuff, or do you want to look at the vehicle stuff? Because we're finishing that off this evening, and then probably tomorrow we might start looking at some of the Lego ideas or the rebrickable stuff, or maybe tomorrow we might just do everybody's top 5 favorite, because we've had a load of comments on the castle video of all the designers. So what I was thinking of doing was be nice, and any designer that has left a comment in the chat, I was going to re-show their sets off, just to help, just to be nice. So maybe we do that tomorrow. I'm not too sure. Do we go for that one? So yeah, because we've had loads of designers in the chat, and obviously we had loads of them on the first night, but we have had, especially in the castle live stream that we did, quite a lot of people letting everybody know what their favorite sets were. I think the last upload, yesterday's video that we were doing for the Bricklink, I think has had the most of everything. It's the best live stream, I think, almost ever. I think it's close to, with regards to comments and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so next then, with regards to where we're going, what we've already covered in the last few live streams, we've done the medieval castle. We have not done vehicle, boats and airplanes. We've done the space, sci-fi, fantasy. We've not done art and object. We've done the animal, nature and flora. We've done the building, we've done the pirates, and we've done the history and period. So we're on to the last two. So what last two sets would you like to take a look at? How many pages are on each? I think we can get them done. So we've got 3 on that one. And we are on that, then takes us 9, the page at the bottom. 4. All right. We'll start with art then, because art is just 1 page. So we'll do art. Art and objects is what we're going to start on. So we're going to do anything that stands out to anybody. Let us know what it is in the comments, and we'll go through. There we go. So yeah, so you'd have to. You've got plenty of train sets that you could pick up, DJI. There is other smaller. I think the Harry Potter is the next scale that you can get. They've got some Lego City. There's Lego City ones out at the moment. I don't think if you got what's the new one? The police one. I think the police one's the newer building, isn't it? So yeah, it's just options. It's just options there for you if you were wanting to take part in those. Then obviously you can do. So we've got a room. So again, what we're looking at number wise, we're 487. And it is just a room of, I like that. So you've got the first Lego League challenge, I Heart Legoland t-shirt, and all of the other little bits and pieces around it. And you can see you've got little bits and pieces from the advent calendars and all of the other stuff that's going on there. So that's a pretty cool thing. I'm assuming after you've read the description of all the little boxes and stuff, but the challenge might be being taken part in that little diorama, which is a nice touch. Right, Killian says there's some awesome Lego City ones that need to keep up with an iPod Marketplace, so you get a nice cheap one. Yeah, that's it. So Killian's talking about the trains. So yeah, there's some good train designs out and about. You've just got to keep your eyes peeled for those different pieces. But yeah, you've got a really old Winter Village train, which it's now sort of on my list of is itchy to get that one. So because I still am clean, by the way. I have only bought so far Lego sets on the day of opening of store in 2026. I have not purchased a single Lego set since, and every single one of you has. I think loads of you. I like the minifigure print on that one. I think all of you have. I think Shibo was the only other person that I know of that has not got themselves anything else this year. So who's bought? That's a question for everybody. Who has bought what in the year of 2026? So how heavy have you gone in the first, 6.5, 7 weeks of 2026? And what I'll do is I'll pop everybody's thing up on the screen so we can see what it is. But that was the idea box on that one. So again, this is just sort of a mashup of different bits and bobs. I've already clicked on that one. I've gone the wrong way. Was the heart? Was that another science one? I do apologise. There's 2 science kits. Oh, there's a smaller one and a bigger one. Oh, I see. What we spotting the difference with? So they've added in. All right, fair enough. So they've added in some extra bits and pieces. So Killian have you not got a single? You've not even got any like scrap pieces. Is Killian actually on 0? Oh, Killian, you've beaten me. I thought I was doing well. So it is an absolute 0 from Killian on that one. So yeah, let us know how much filth you have bought yourself this year so far in 2026. And that does include taking deliveries of last year's Bricklink sets, because technically you've only paid for them in 2026. So it does count. Right. Sean says, 2 sets and parts for me so far. But Sean, let's be honest, you've got one of the nicest sets you could have possibly backtracked in recent history. So that set that you have picked up is naughty. Ultra Brick says 3 for me. Ryan, only the Speed Champions DeLorean, pass on Star Trek or Pokemon. So Ryan has got those to come. Did you enjoy the DeLorean? And Ultra Bricks, did you build your DeLorean today? Actually, there's 4 sets from Ultra Bricks on that one. So yeah, don't be afraid to let us know what it is you've actually got as well, because I'll say it. Mine, I got all 3 Ninjago 15th anniversary sets. That's what I picked up on. It was technically January the 2nd, but that's when it opened. And that was over in the Lego store in Bristol. So we do is this a hot dog competition? Is that a hot dog judging stand? That is outrageous, because you've got a massive length on the back, and then you've actually got, I think it might be. There's it looks like there's a good bit of fun going on with this one. So you've got the balloons and everything up at the back. You've got this cool looking thing on the back. I can't quite figure out what that's supposed to be. Yeah, it's almost like a hot dog street party going on. Yeah, lots of different bits and pieces. So again, I do like the I Heart Legoland torso. Yeah, it's got some nice selection of minifigures in that one. Right, who's done what? So Ultra Brick says, nope, probably end up building maybe tomorrow. Yeah, well, you can't go on that. I'll be doing another live tomorrow with moving all the bits and pieces. Lego King's not here. I don't think Lego King's lurking in the background, but this is what Lego King wanted. He said something about pizza, didn't he? In the other live stream. I don't think he realizes that there is actually a pizza slice available. So if Lego King wanted a pizza slice on a stand with your own custom toppings, may I add, so you can just go, you could go full cheese, or you can add all of your toppings if you wanted to. I mean, that to me looks like it's almost like a quad cheese with tomato puree with a little bit of cheese melt on the front. So that's not too bad. And then is that double? Oh no! Oh, it's just showing that it's got a little bit of flexibility in the slice as well. And then there's your stand to put it on. So again, that's not too bad. So just remind me that when we see Lego King, we can let Lego King know that this is the one that he needs to vote for, which is Spencer the Pumpkin, because that's what he was talking about. Right, we've got a working wall clock on this one. This is a pretty cool thing. So it is a Lego clock that works, and it looks like it's a mechanic. Yeah, look at that. So I wonder if that I wonder how that works. I wonder if that works with like a counterweight or 666 for the parts as well. Oh, it has a short runtime, so it's not usable as references timekeeping periods for a long period of time. Fair enough. So they've said pros and cons. Pros, it's a short brick count, so it's obviously the price will be lower. But the con, it won't obviously just keep ticking. It's a very clever design, though. So I think some people would really like that. I think that'd be a really nice looking thing. Right, before we do the next batch of 3, again, let's catch up with everybody that is in the chat with us this evening. Reese says, actually, 5, 6. So I forgot about the set that I'm currently building now. So what's your 6 then, Reese? Because we know some of them. We know that you're umming and ahhing about some of the modulars. So what else is it that you've got on your filthy pile of backlog? Because you've got some quite nice, well, very nice sets, shall I say, that have already come through. Phil, good evening to you. So we have got a good selection of stuff this evening. Good Lord, that is a lot of sets. So we've got Back to the Future, the Fry's food truck, great looking thing. The donut truck, again, nice looking set. The Game Boy, fantastic. The Halloween barn, the Possum, the flowering cactus, the EV supercar, Peter Parker's apartments, said it first time, and the arcade machine. Is that the arcade machine is the red one? Not that obviously not the Pac-Man, because that arcade machine I think slipped through. See, that's the only way you can get the Spot minifigure as well. So so you got Mars Morales versus Spot and the Lucky Bamboo. So good evening to Phil, and what a haul that is for the start of 2026. So the obviously the Spot minifigure wasn't included in the Spider-Verse CMFs. And that set is retiring halfway through this year. So if you do want that character, then of course you're going to have to get that set before it goes. And yeah, there's some other really nice looking things in that one. But the red arcade machine, I think looks really, really nice. But that literally just came onto the Lego website. It was just like, oh yeah, we've done this now. It came onto the website and you could buy it. There was literally, because they've just done the same thing with the cards. So all of those packs of cards that have turned up, like the gaming cards and all of that kind of stuff, just came on randomly halfway through February, and not pre-order, not nothing. It's like you can just buy it now. No warning. Yeah, so it's a red one. Yeah, red one on that one. So yeah, it's a very nice looking set. That is a very, very nice looking set. And if you want a rubber duck fountain, which I think out of everybody, Mr. J's Toy Collection UK would be all over a rubber ducky. You've gone full, Jay. You have. You sort of just didn't even dip the tip in. You just went right, boff, all in. That's it. So have you actually have you? The question is out of all of the stuff that you bought, how much is still mint in box, or have you actually managed to build some bits and pieces yet? So Reese says Back to the Future Speed Champions, mini Hogwarts Castle and grounds, very nice. The Gaza. Really nice looking set. That's a really big pyramid, that one. Tudor Corner, Jazz Club, and the Game Boy. Big sets from everybody this evening. I built the DeLorean in the stream earlier. Well, that still counts. That's your 6. That's your 6 set. So yeah, that's yeah. I honestly feel like this year I am letting the side down badly. I don't think I put enough effort into any of these sets. What was that? That's very nice. yeah, so I need to up my I need to do something because I did all three of those sets. I mean, brick count, I'll be up there because I got the old town, which is what, like a 4,000 piece set, is it? 3,500. So I'll be up there because the other one was 1,000 and a bit, and then the other one was smaller, but they were done, probably finished them nearly a month ago now. So yeah, just need to carry on and sort of tuck into all of those little bits and pieces a little bit more. Right, moving on to the next one. Has anybody picked up any of the games? This is the question. Like, would you want a game like this that you can just use, or would you? Because like the Dungeons and Dragons set's one thing. Because obviously you can use those kind of things, but with this, would it be something that you would like to see? Jay said, I reckon. Actually, in all fairness, Jay has built more IKEA tables than probably clipping together minifigures and Lego bricks. Not even sets. I think Jay's put that much IKEA furniture together. I think Jay's actually built more IKEA stuff than physical brick connection. Well, you can't you? Have you seen the dual set rebrickable on that, Reese? So this is another thing. I've seen those. Oh, another set coming through. I forgot about the Lucky Cat, down to 1785 in Morrison's with a more card. Now, in the UK, we are spoiled because you could literally go food shopping and you could come back with stuff that's in huge sales. It seems to be Argus had a massive sale on. Smiths at the moment have a big sale. John Lewis still has all the stuff that retired in like November on the Lego website. They've just had restocks of lots of different bits and pieces as well. So at the moment, you guys and girls are absolutely laughing and living the dream if you wanted to pick up any of those sets. So yeah, you can't really go too wrong with all of that kind of stuff. The fact that you can get all of these things. So the Art of Japan. Now, obviously the artworks has been selling really well. So this to me looks like it's like the new 3D postcard. So the only way that I can see that this wouldn't get put through is, or I say not put through, but just not being selected by the Lego group, is because they've done the Paris postcard, and it wouldn't surprise me if all of the postcards now are going to be 3D because that's under the new architecture banner for 2026. So they sort of discontinued all of those sets, didn't they? And then they just carried on with a new lease of life, shall we say? And of course, it seemed to have done very, very well because well, it's sold out. So the fact it's sold out so quickly is not a bad thing at all. So you can't really go too wrong with that. So yeah, fingers crossed. You guys and girls will be enjoying your builds. I'm assuming if you can, you're going to get some bits and pieces done over this weekend. And I will just carry on redesigning the Lego room as we go through. So yeah, I'm still not 100% sure on what the next set is that I'm actually going to get. Because we are the 14th of February already. So I don't know, sorry, maybe I should reword that. I don't know what my next build is going to be. And we had a quick look at this one before, didn't we? So the time capsule, it's got the 2 dates on, if this is the one that I think it is. So it shuts and opens. So there it is, it pops it open. And you have got the different years. So you're 2026 and 2006. So you've got the little one with the teddy bear and the big fatty as a computer. And then you've got the laptop with the coffee and the hat. So that's a nice little touch. Is sort of memories gone by. And again, it's a completely different style of set. Now let's just catch up with the poll and everybody that's liked the video so far, guys and girls. Thank you very much indeed, because of course it massively helps with this. So we're 22 votes into the poll at the moment. So if you got given one, if you get given one, what do you pick? So it's a completely free set. The new Snoopy Doghouse, the new Mando, the new Ninjago X1, which is at 41%, may I add, or then you've got 27% for the new X-Wing. So it seems to be that everybody does not care about the new little Mando set that they've got. They don't seem to sell too well, those, though, do they? That's the thing with them. Like the other ones that they did, they went into a sale as well. So yeah, they're going to keep doing them. They've done like 5 or 6 of them at the moment. Chase just said, just like, you're getting that Pokemon set with the giveaway. There's no if, buts, or maybes with that. I tell you what, I would have to sell a kidney, I think, to be able. Well, I'd love it. Let's be honest. That would be very, very nice. It would be very, very nice. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But it is a nice looking set. Anybody would want a chessboard? Where's the other? Oh, this is the one that's got one photo. So there is some of the sets that they haven't added all the photos in, but it's a full-size chessboard with buildable pieces. So is that something that you guys and girls would like and want? And then we've got the Playmates Clockmaker. So again, lots of different bits and pieces within this section of bits and bobs. Yeah, clever design. Looks like it's got working gearing on the back. Yeah, very, very smart. So yeah, that is the, because I'm going to order the Bricklink Designer Program set in a couple of days, but obviously that's still another six months away. So February should be March, April, May, June, July, August will be September. So it'll be a September build. So I've got to have something to build before September. I'm starting to. Oh, there it is. You know what you guys and girls are going to be using in a second. We've got to make most of those golden emojis in a sec. Yeah, I've just got to find something that I've got to build before. Yeah, there we go, Reese. There we go. So I wouldn't lie to you. See, full of knowledge when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a double side, isn't it? Yeah, it's a nice it is a nice set. I'm trying to find it to show it off. So this is what I'm talking about. I think this is one of them, may I add. I don't know if this is because it's they've added the cracks and everything. Is this the one where they added the bits onto the back or not? Yeah, so it's all the pieces you need. So it's just the pyramid where it adds stuff on, because this set's actually open at the back. So there's ways you can do it. Some of them you've got to buy multiple sets. Some of them you can just add the other bits and pieces in. Hang on. What's it? Hang on. I'm sorry. So Jay's actually going to build something, which is going to be the Stranger Things giveaway. So hang on. You're going to make your good lady build the Creel house, but you're going to crack open the giveaway. Why can't she have the giveaway and you get on with the Creel house, or carry on with your sail barge? Shocking. But yeah, I do need something to build before October. Correct, sir. But I'm just making sure that's a thing. Now, Jay has his own set, doesn't he? So the U-bend. So between you and Sean, I'm sure you or Sean would want this. And this actually has, more I look at it, more really fun detail on this. So if you wanted a full-blown toilet, this would be the one for you. So we had a look at this, but this has got the big duck on top. So you got your buildable duck. You have got the painting of the curly whirly at the top, just on there. So yeah, this is the one, I think, for a fair few of you. Especially with how basically I have learned that I get used as a toilet break. I understand that now. When you guys and girls have got nothing better to do, and I am on the live stream, you'll jump in when you're squatting and dropping, and then you'll just get on with your life. I completely understand, but I do like the little micro build toilet. I think that does look very, very smart. The toilet paper does look a little bit rough, so that might give you a bit of a stinging ringing, but I do like the fact it's all folded on the side. So again, that's a nice little touch on that bit. Then we've got the hidden bits that's under the lid. So Jay's currently having a splash. He is currently having a splash. He's using that golden toilet. So he is. So Jay's literally currently having a poo at the moment. Everybody, that is what he's just told everybody. So he's using me as another toilet break. So you have got. I do like the fact it's the ultra rare That'd be quite a cool thing to add into the collection. And of course, if Jay doesn't flush, there is an actual flush system within this toilet. It's just amazing, really. At least you don't have to worry about getting your hands dirty either. So you're all right. You're okay with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, well, hang on, missed a page. There it is. So you got the open and close the lid. You've got the so Jay's actually now using the golden toilet emoji as I thought he would be. He is currently literally Jay's currently taking the plunge while on the throne using the new golden emoji. Oh, good grief. But it's back because obviously this was the one that I thought was quite good fun. And look who it's by. So this happy person just here, loads of designs in. And I've only just put 2 and 2 together because this person left a comment on the video before last saying basically thank you for taking a look at the sets. And I now need to leave a comment saying I am a massive fan of the working toilet. And I am. I just think it's such a fun design. And the full violin as well. This was also in series 9. It is a full-blown scale violin. Be interesting to see the changes that they were asked to do, or maybe there was no changes at all because they get feedback, I do believe, with regards to what might make it help get more votes. But yeah, if you wanted a full-blown violin, because I mean, how many pieces does that have? That's 1,248. So I guess realistically, at a push, it'll be tight, but you might be able to have like a full-size guitar. It'll be close because obviously it's a big thing. But you've got a Christmas board game. So if anybody is a fan of the Christmas board game, this is what this looks like. So I'll let you just soak that in while I just move Pumpkin again. There we have it. So yeah, you've got all the little bits and pieces that are on this one. So you have got lots of detailing at the bottom. And it just looks like you roll the dice and then you carry on and play a little game. So naughty or nice, and then you've got the checklist, and then you've got the presents on the one corner. Stars, you've got the elf, which looks like he's in a very, must be in prison. And then you've got the gingerbread and the evil looking Santa, may I add. That Santa does not look like a regulation Santa Claus. That looks like it's an imposter to me. But it does look fun. Look at that. See, again, these weren't in the winter sets. So this we haven't seen this yet, going through all of these, and we definitely haven't seen the A Christmas Night from Santa Claus either. So if you would like a bust, that is a very, very detailed looking thing. So if you are a fan of this one, this might be well for you. This is very similar to the Legoland parks. So they would have busts literally side by side, just dotted around the parks, but in groups of 5, 10. Where was it? California, I think. California had a really nice section because you went through the Miniland and then you went into another section where you got the model maker's place, which again was just a really nice thing to see. You literally turn the corner and there's probably 30 of them, all different people dotted in, and they look really, really very, very good. So yeah, they did look very smart, which is obviously always nice, isn't it? Just moving these about. Okay, right, okay. Right, so I'm just catching up with some bits and pieces with regards to some stuff in the background. That's Pumpkin again. Go on. He's not settling tonight. So this is, are you a fan of, if you're a fan of Santa, this is a rather detailed build of this. This also looks like one of the staff giveaways. They did do a staff giveaway of like the big oversized elf sets. So this could potentially go with that. It's like an upscaled version of other bits and pieces that they've done in the past. So yeah, I could potentially see something like this doing okay if you had any of the other ones. I'm looking at the names now. I'm recognizing some of the names that have actually messaged, emailed, and all that kind of stuff, which is it's just nice. It's just nice to re-see all these sets. You can see you've got the different scrolls where you can write the different messages on there because you've got the alphabet obviously, and then you can write whatever it is that you want to. I definitely wouldn't keep. Everything is awesome. I definitely wouldn't keep it clean. I don't think. If I had one of those, but that is again something different, isn't it? It's just a nice thing. But there does seem to be a lot of chessboards. There does seem to be quite a lot of chessboards in this. It's not so much a miscellaneous tab that we're clicking on, but there does seem to be sort of a mashup of different bits and pieces. So what category so far do you think is the strongest? Because castles was massive. What we looked at yesterday, there was tons. But then the nature and the winter village stuff and the buildings, there was also loads of those as well. And then obviously now with the other ones that we're looking at now, there's 555 sets? So this is technically the second time we're looking at each one of these sets because we looked at them all as an individual. And then which one did you like, Jane? Which one was it? And I'll go back. I've just caught it. Which one, Jane, is it? I've just seen a thing. Which one did you like? Ultra Bricks is a tear. There's tears from what's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Hang on. Ultra Bricks is crying. Oh, the festive gingerbread house. You could buy another one though, Sean, couldn't you? If that's the one I think it is. Killian says hats off to the designer. And Jane, I'm not too sure what Jane is on about. Killian was massively behind, apparently. I was on about that busy. You're busy? I don't know. I'm now confusing myself trying to catch up. So the toilet, the bust. Oh, hats off to the designer for the bust. Yes, the bust is a good looking thing. That I do like that. So I'm not too sure which one that Jane saw. So I have to let us know. It might be this. We'll go back to this one and just have a quick look. I'm assuming it might be something like this because that I guess would work well with the fantasy stuff, which I'm starting to figure out what you guys and go like. So I have a bit of a slower look at this one. I don't want to miss stuff for people. I am now full length, trying to grab Pumpkin's head as well to give her a quick stroke. Come here. Come on, Pumpkin. Puff. Hey, come on. Good girl. There you go. There you go. What's wrong with you, hey? You didn't know where to go, did you? You big fluffy tail. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Ah, there you go. Make your cakes. Make your little biscuits. Make your little biscuits. Right. So yeah, I think this is nice. I think the shadow looks good. I do like it because it's what quadruple skinned. Because you've got green, black, and then the outer bit. I was going to say the outer rim is the same level, and then this bit looks like it's the same level. It's just like it's just been carved in. So very similar design to how they've done the shadow box. Obviously, what I mean, not with the actual image, but the actual way they've done that front bit. So yeah, it's a very clever looking bit that way. Phil's gone full length. What full length would you like to have a look at, Phil? Full length. Where's the full length? What have I missed? I just got that excited for full length. I've just kicked myself out my own stream. So let me get all this back together. Oh, Phil, you took me off guard then. Full length. I went to go back to make sure I could see the full length for Phil. I was on the wrong tab. I was like, oh, balls. What's gone wrong? But luckily, I'm a semi-pro, so I can get back in. I can get back into the game quick enough. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, you noticed I sit on the floor and she gets the whole sofa to herself. Yeah, that's it. So I want to what we've got a capital letter full length, and I don't know what the full length. Oh, are we talking about the wedding photo? What is it? What have I missed? The problem is if the chat isn't up with the if the chat's not up with the design that I'm looking at, then I don't know. I don't know where Phil is on the Somebody have to ask Phil what set he means, and I can flop over the full. I can flop open the full chat. But yes, I have just kicked myself out my own stream, getting carried away trying to go back quickly off this kid's sandcastle, and I was on the wrong tab. See, easily done, easily done. It's not like I've not done this before. This is only like the 50th hour this week that I've done for this. Got the cool little green minifigures on that one as well. You said you said you went full length. Ah, you caught it. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, you'll catch all the innuendos on here. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, there is a lot of full length. I thought there was something that caught your eye that was full length. I was like, oh, what set is that? Because it's a term I say all the time. Because Phil, I am a child, is what I am. So I went full length. And then Jay says, well, Jay brags about his 18 inches all the time. Yeah, exactly that. Full length James is with 18 inches. I know it's just mad. But then all of a sudden, the following day, because the weather must be cold, he all of a sudden says he's now collecting like 3-inch. So I don't know what's the lie. I don't know where he goes. Like I've got an 18-inch, and you think, what is he going on about with his full length? And then all of a sudden, like I said, like half an hour later, it's like, oh no, now I've bought something that's 3 3/4. Then it's grown to 6. Then it goes to 12. Then it goes back. It's like, I can't keep up. I don't know where he gets the surgery from, to be honest, but it's impressive. It is impressive. But yeah, there we go. Oh, it's all good fun. All good fun. So yeah, there's lots of sort of more miscellaneous type bits in here. If anybody has got married and you want to relive the nightmare, then there you go. That is, you can relive it through the wedding photo. I'm sure if you are sat beside your loved one right now, they are probably glaring at you, waiting to see your response. So I'm just trying to dig everybody into a hole. But yeah, there you go. So that is reliving your nightmare, but it does look really nice. And this actually goes well with the other art stuff that's about, because there's a lot of 3D images now that they're starting to do with these, and obviously out further and everything else like that. So yeah, it does look really good. So yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, I'm not yeah, so I'm not too. I don't know what's going on, Jay, to be honest, because out of absolutely nowhere, we had just this in full capital letters, and then it all kicked off. So it's because I think I said full length. Yeah, apparently I said full length, and now they're comparing my full length to your 18 inches apparently, and then it's all. I don't know. I'm just sat on the floor. Pumpkin's on the sofa. So she's happy, and I'm now looking at a wedding photo. So there we go. That's it. That's how quickly these conversations do turn. And like I said, if you're watching this on the replay and you're wondering what the hell is going on, just look at the live chat, because the live chat is included always in all the live streams. It just takes a little while to catch up. So yeah. So I think Jay's now just making up numbers. I think he's just making it, because yesterday I'm sure he said it was 18th, and now it's 22 inches. There we go. No hole to be dug. 13 plus 14 or whatever, and definitely no wedding ring. There we go. Fair enough. Oh, Jane was behind. Well, what was it you liked, Jane? What set caught your eye? And I'll go back. Let me know what it is. I'm not too sure. Sean has either just let one rip, or I'm not too sure what's happening with with that one. So hello to Bricklink. How are we? Good evening to you. Hopefully you are okay. Yeah, we are basically speaking filth is what we normally do. Okay, no problem. Well, if you know what the name of it is, I can easily go back. And you missed all the castle stuff yesterday, didn't you? So just let us know if there's any castle stuff you want to take a look at, and then we can have a look at that as well. Because yeah, that castle stream yesterday was a really strong stream. There was loads and loads of people chit-chatting, and we had a lot of the designers in for that one as well. So yeah, that's it. Absolutely spot on. If there's anything else if there's anything that'll get rid of your full length, it'll be re-looking over your Lego and your wedding photos. So yeah, that'll just bring back that horrible memory for all of you guys and girls that have tied the knot. And I'm sure right now you're thinking to yourself, did I make the right decision? Oh, I am glad I am sat behind this laptop screen right now. Is this the actual? Well, it is. It's the workable. Oh, it's the desk. There was one like a hidden jewelry box, wasn't there? Which was a clever thing. It was like a build, and there was a compartment where you could actually put valuable bits in. I thought that's actually quite a clever idea, actually, because nobody's going to know what it is. The moon. So again, that sort of 3D print on here. Hang on, I've got to catch back up with this. So it could be his own version. Yeah, I'm not too sure if he's got a singing ring in as well. Oh, I know. I don't know. Yeah, nice moon. These have the Technic element on the back for you to be able to put them onto the wall. So these are the same as the Batman artwork. So the Batman artwork is incredible, and as long as you've got an eye and you can actually drill into a wall and get it level, you can get it over the screws okay. And I'm actually really happy that I managed to do mine. And I think it's one of the first ever times that I actually had a Lego, the actual Lego designer in the chat, because they seem to have, you noticed that if a new big set comes out and about, and you either do a live stream or you do an unboxing video of it or you do a little review, they seem to be floating around and just seeing what's going on, but gave some advice on something on the back. So that was pretty handy, because I can't remember what, I think it was to do with the screw on the back, and I was struggling to get it on with that. So yeah, you've got these bits and pieces that are on the chessboard. So yeah, you can't go too wrong. So right, we've got the eagle. While the eagle's on there, let's have a quick look. Now, because I read everything in reverse order, I've now just read this. Now, we were talking about length, and now what you two guys get up to in your own time, that is absolutely fine. I've just read what the other comment is. So and that's very true. Yeah, if you screw it, because you can, it's got the technical elements there that if you've got to, for a start, you've got to make sure you've got the right size screw, because if your head is too big, I'm talking about the set, it will not fit on the technic element. So don't get that wrong, because if you do get it wrong, as Killian has just said, fine screwing from the back can be quite frowned upon. So yes, if you do get it wrong, it won't go well, basically. So, but to actually get the bits up, I mean, once you know the exact diameter of the Technic piece that is used, you should be you can just get like a handful of those screws, and then you should be fine, because it does seem to be it's the exact same piece, and I don't think they're ever going to change that, because it was a double one on the Batman artwork, because of course that was a wider set, but it does seem to be like this again. I'm assuming that this will be hung because it's in a frame. So is it a frame, or is it going to be just in a frame? Can you put it on the wall? So again, they've gone for another really strong design. I do like the 3D effect, which look how deep that is as well, by the way, because you've got maybe there's 4-6 studs deep. Oh, it is on the wall. There it is. Oh no, that's the plate again. So is it on the back? What have they done on the back of this one? Oh, it's just in a frame. So they haven't. So you might be able to. They've got the white. They've got a different element up on there. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, well, I don't know if that would take it, because that's not the biggest of things, because the Batman artwork, they were about here and here, and you had the really thick, chunky bits. Whereas I wouldn't, I think it would perfect in a frame, but I don't know if I'd trust hanging it on the wall by those four. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. On the other hand, just the actual frame, if it was just stood up and it had the flap on the back, I think would work. But I'm assuming, because it looks like it's built, that looks like it's on the wall. So it must be absolutely fine. And it's on it, that's a big frame as well. So it must hold the weight. I just thought they had the technical element for it, but maybe not. Maybe that is strong enough. So would you risk it? It looks nice. And if it holds, then you're absolutely fine, because I think that was what everybody's worry was with the Batman artwork, and that's solid. It's never moved for me. It's been absolutely fine. So there you go. You can actually put a nice proper picture frame around the set if you wanted to do it. So yeah, you can't go wrong with that one. So we are getting into more arty bits and pieces. So there's the eagle. What's the last one? There we go. So Lobster House obviously was in the chat the other day. And we're having a look at the big grand suspension bridge, which is a very nice looking thing. Yeah. So yeah, well that's it. So it's nice design. I wonder if the build is quite fagible. Selective audience too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like the whole Old Trafford debacle, isn't it? With the football stadium. If they did a neutral thing, so if they just made the eagle as the eagle rather than putting anybody's flag on it, would people be more interested in it that way? And that's a way to look at it, because that's why I think with the team events like the football stadiums that just literally died a death very, very quickly. I say this all the time. United, Real Madrid, Barcelona never made them again, because people are they just will not get something that isn't their own, either for their own country or for their own club. But I'm actually quite surprised there's no... I know it's a bit late. Well, this is coming at a different time, but there was no... I wonder if this was coming a couple of days later, would people have got inspiration from the Winter Olympics? Just thinking of like team events and all that kind of stuff. Because I wonder who can get creative on those larger sets. Right, so that is that mishmash of different bits and pieces done. So I think the last one is vehicles, boats, and airplanes, which is literally what it says on the tin. So you've got all sorts of different boats on here. Look, so you've got medieval stuff, you've got all the cogs, you've got different play sets. There's lots and lots, and then there you go. Look, so there there's a lot of stuff that's in this one, and it's a mashup of themes, which is just bizarre, because that's the gypsy wagon that Killian really likes the look of. Some really big boats. But randomly, look, page 2. So we'll get all the way back to page 1, and then we will just tuck through the smaller sets nice and quick, and then we'll spend some more time on the longer sets as we go. What art set are you doing, Ultra Bricks? That's interesting to know. Yeah, so that'd be an interesting one to see. So yes, just tuck into all of these, and we'll just tick through these. So you've got the monster truck with the working suspension on the bottom. So that's your flame monster. You can see again just how much girth is on the tire and how much is in the suspension. You've got you can actually steer the wheels by the looks of it on this one. But you've got looks like you've got the working suspension with the Technic on the back. So that's why the back wheel's not coming off. So that's a nice, clever design on that one. That is a beast. But this is now going to be very, very random stuff, because we're going to have monster trucks mixed in with Vikings, mixed in with all sorts of horse and carts and things, and planes and everything. So again, if there's anything that you're interested in, just shout, let me know, and we can stop and we can take a more detailed look at it. So that is absolutely fine. Apparently the image that is one of the images that are on here, the glider track. Oh no, I think I might have changed, because I think the original image was a computer gen, so it's been flipped over. So at least that's been done for Lobster House, so that's okay. Now with the airport stuff, I wonder if we would ever get a like UCS scale airport. That would be pretty impressive. like a full-size modular with runway, you know, big sort of traffic control tower type, maximum 4,000 piece set is what I'm talking about. Just like one of those that really stands out. Because that's one thing I've never ever seen being designed. We know we can get it now as the Lego City range. We know it's the it's out at the moment for Die Hard. It's the Die Hard version, isn't it? So that does look very, very smart. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they ever would do any of those. But yeah, we've got all these different wagons and stuff to go through. It's just amazing that again these aren't in the medieval stuff. I think this one might have been, or something similar was. No, the other one was on a stand, wasn't it? I think because I was saying about the wheels, but it wasn't this set. So yeah, we'll just tuck through them all at a steady pace. So yeah, if everybody's still about with regards to liking medieval pirates and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if Jane is still lurking in the background, but Jane, a lot of this stuff in here will go in the fantasy display and all of that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, just a complete mix and mash. Complete mix and match. Yeah, I'm surprised with that, Killian. I'm surprised they don't have a modular airport. I would really like one of those, to be honest. A really big, just like have it. It's only the only ever time that we're going to do it. Then you can just add as much runway as you wanted to do it, and then you'd be away with it. I would like that. But I said this before. This was the Rock Rangers colours is what they've used on this one. And you can see you've got all the drills and everything on there. And of course, they are going 4 rocks. So this is the carrier clash on that one. So that brings back some memories from way, way, way back when. But yeah, the sets that are in here now. I mean, a lot of people were saying about the long ships, and they really did like the design. They like the designs on some of these long ships, and because something like this could easily just be a small set that you could buy on the shelf. And I wonder if we will ever get that again from the Lego group. I said they haven't done the catapults for ages, they haven't done the horse bits for ages, they haven't done all those little bits and pieces for ages. But no, this now, I think we finished on a really good category to finish on, because this is just a complete hybrid of all sorts of different bits and pieces. So we've got the triplane landing field. So again, that would be a nice thing if that was just to go in close to your farm, for example, because you've got the crop dusters and all that kind of stuff that you could do. So we're at the lower price point at the moment, obviously. You've got to do like the little wind flag there at the top. So yeah, I think that looks nice. And then you've got the aviation fuel. Look at that, the wheels. That's a cool little touch. That no health and safety with that. That's perfect. And then yeah, you got the little bit, and you're off. So that's a nice little set. That again, I do like the little element with the pigeons, the post, and just the minifigures that are included. So yeah, I think that's a really nice looking thing. So we've Lobster House. Obviously, we were saying about the Fast and Furious. This is the designer that was in the other day, with regards to just a block of the modular, and then there's, I would imagine, maybe. I think the bigger modular was under the building, so this one's been put under the boats and the cars, I guess. So would anybody like a vintage bus? Because if you had like a old vintage section in your town, would anybody want just this? Because obviously it's an open top. Just as a concept, do you like the staircase at the back? I think that's a really nice sort of chocolate staircase up to the top with all the seats and everything. Do like the big sail and the Legoland symbols and the little bits and bobs. But because you could have like an old school, proper old school. You've got the horn, the big old steering wheel. I bet they were an absolute pain in the ass to drive. Could you imagine way, way, way back when trying to put these sets, but not this set, but to actually drive them? I think that would have been a nightmare. Killian says, I had the airport in like the early 90s. It came in like 3 or 4 base plates. I doubt you get that again. I still have that set, Killian. I still have that set. I'm actually using the base plate at the moment for an airport that I'm currently doing. And also goes on to say, I do like the staircase of the vintage bus. Where are you going? You're going back onto the windowsill, which is very spoiled. Right, so we will continue and move on. So we have got the biplane. So again, just a big mix-up of stuff, but it is quite interesting within it. And because obviously, I know we went through all 555 of them, but I can't remember seeing an airport. We saw loads of different planes, loads of different trains and aircraft. With the trains, we've got lots of train stations, but did anybody spot an airport? Because if not, with the rebrickable conversation that we've been having, is there a big airport that I could actually build using rebrickable? Because if there is, I just need to leave space and figure out what it all is. Because if I could build a airport from rebrickable rather than buying the Lego City airport, then I could do that instead. So you guys and girls know more than me for the rebrickable stuff. And again, really nice boat. What I do like with regards to the sails and things is some of them are half roll down, some of them are full roll down. But I have said I think all of them now aren't fabric; they're all built, and I do like the 3D bit on top. So yeah, a lot of these designs are very, very strong. Even all these small little pieces where they create all the curves and everything. I think it's a really clever thing. That so they've done a really very, very good job on all of those. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same boat. You just got one up at the top for the long ship, and then you got a different version from a different designer as well. Right, lobster rolls is the next one. Yeah, that's it. I've got it. So I've got the one from the 90s, but I just wonder from rebrickable if somebody's actually just done like a have it. He's a 3,000-4,000 piece airport. Get on with it, and enjoy it. So. Right, so this is the Ocean Plate seafood truck. That's a pretty smart looking thing, to be fair. Again, I like the stand that it's on. This style and this concept does seem to do well as almost like an entry level type set. Because if you think of all the other ones that we've had in the past, they do seem to do very, very well. I'm just going back through the chat. So we making sure I did say hello to Brickable World, so that's fine. Jay said NECA Alien. Yeah, right. I'm all up to date with it, I think. Yeah, all up to date. Yeah, with that, fine. Okay. So, what do we think of this? Are we happy? Because would you get it? That's the thing. If you had the opportunity, would you pick one of those up? Because I think it does look really. I think it looks nice. I just don't know what I'd have use for it for. I think, but I do like that. So I do. you just know when you're walking with some chips by the seafront. And you've got a seagull, not a pelican, obviously, but a seagull that comes shooting down. They would nab all of that, but at least with a pelican, I don't think you'd have too much of a problem with those. Looking very happy with that. Good use of a typewriter part. I think there's a typewriter part on there. And then yeah, just chilling out, living the dream. Yeah, it does look a nice clean bit. Like obviously the base is all super, super clean and fresh. And then you've got some little hidden treasures just underneath there where they're fishing. So yeah, you got all the change, and that's the size of the wagon. That kind of has the sort of same feel as the older Winter Village trains. I think the vehicle. Sorry, I think it has that sort of look to it. Right, Moonlight Flight. So this is one that I said the color. Yeah, so this is the color that reminds me of the giveaway or the insiders thing. I think that was a nice thing. So this is the mini biplane, and you can pick. Oh, there you go. So you can move it. So you can pitch it up or dive it down. So up and down it goes. It's got the ball point, so it just literally pops it up its back bottom. In it goes, and then it should hold itself and you should be absolutely laughing. And they got the moon. Looks like it's a nice little build. There's a backside. See, such a child. See the word backside makes me chuckle. And then you got the 3D shape, thick and slim, going over the top. And then you got ready your flight. And then you got the moon. And then there we go. So very cool. Yeah, and that where with these we're still only at 658 pieces. So all of those. This zombie RV, a lot of you like the look of, if I remember rightly, when we first started to go through these photos. So I'm sure that's what. Yeah, there we go. What you guys and girls were liking the look of, because I'm not with the chat now. I'm struggling. Where is everybody? Oh, you're there. You're there. No, got you. Right, I'm with it. So yeah, so this is the zombie RV. This is where you got it's the 2-in-1. There we go. So you can have the bits and pieces up top, or you can keep it streamlined and clean, and you've got the nice looking front, or the zombie sort of bash out the way front. You got the medikit and all the different bits and pieces on the inside. So this is what we didn't do. We didn't see what was on the inside of it when we had a very quick look at all of them. So you got all the bits and pieces. It does look like you've got a coffee maker machine, all of the little bits and bobs, first aid. Then you've got the backpack, and then as it comes through, you've got all sorts of other little bits and pieces as well. So yeah, some nice bits in there. But they are getting ready for a zombie apocalypse. So you can see they've obviously got some tools and everything on the side of this one, and then they've got the monster. Or they could just be going out for a hike. So it's literally a complete 2-in-1 for whatever it is you wanted to do and everything you wanted to achieve. So I'm not too sure if this was your Breaking Bad van that you guys and girls thought it looked like, or so see, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything. I just smiled to myself because I thought I've pushed my luck too much tonight, but I have just seen something come through, and you not only do you have the backside, you have you've got the slim to thick or the thick to slim, so you can pick and choose exactly where you think it was. Yeah, so there it is. So that is plenty of girth on the screen, I think is the safest say to say on that. So it is a chunky monkey for that one. Coffee van. Are we a fan of the coffee van? You've got loads of different coffee bits up at the top. Again, really nice bases with all the different stud tiling and everything that's on that one. And then, yeah, you've got all the bits and pieces on the back. I think it's safe to say now you understand that my sense of humor, I am literally a child. That's all. That's all I can say. I just chuckle at the most stupidest of things. Do like the detailing on that. So I think this one might be one of those that might be good for minifigure photography if you've got like the macro lens and all that kind of stuff. Milk, and then you've got the coffee grinder, so you can grind up your coffee, and then you've got the pack of, well, you can't go wrong with coffee beans. That always helps. Hang on, what's the bit at the top? On the side of the van roof, there's a special pole holder that will allow you to support the canopy. Oh, above the countertop. Ah, right. Oh, there. Okay. So you I get it. So you got the hidden poles. So the little bits of length that's in there. You got the hidden poles, the flap shuts, and then you can go on there. 2 fans only show the whole. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, you have those bits and pieces on. So again, overall, that's quite a nice, sweet looking set, I think. So yeah, it's a nice looking thing. Yeah, there we go. So again, I'm a fan of these, but I think any of them winning, maybe not. Well, sometimes they get put in up there, and just for the screen, just for the sake of it, that's what we're talking about. Thick in proper capital, like passionate. I can imagine you saying that out loud at home. And there, got the pole holder. There we go. There's a little bit of length. I said it. I said there was a little bit of length just holding it up there. So there is. Honestly, the amount of filth that you could potentially make out of some of these sets is outrageous when you start to think about it. But yeah, it just makes me chuckle. So we now have got Phil talking about a pole holder, and there we go. So thick and slim, and a pole holder. There we go. You guys and girls can start putting 2 and 2 together for that one. This triple horse at the front. This is, what is this? Hang on. What's it under? A detachment. Is that there? That's some of the photos. I said this before. You're either, you can't zoom in or you're too close, because I've got a touch screen on the laptop. So on the Lego website, I can zoom in easily and see everything. Whereas on this one, you literally do this and you get spiked in the face because it zooms in so quickly and you kind of lose where you're at with the photo. That is a terrifying. Was that an arm? What is that? Fair bit of detail. So we noticed it yesterday that the amount of people that were just killed off in the castle, you had like a rotting corpse in the prison cells, and you just think, well, okay. So have they added on any like bony features on this? Is there anything that where they've just been killed off or not? You got the dog on the inside. Nothing up top. There we go. So that's old school take. So again, something like this sort of concept might be something that could work well with in bulk with regards to actually being able to buy them on the shelf. But don't forget, you are limited to the volume that you can buy doing these bits. So it's not as easy army building on these. So that was an old school prison transport. It says kill you. So I was thinking, was that, I was trying to work out if that was a weapon transportation or a prison. And I've got a funny feeling this might be the RV that you said was Breaking Bad. I can't remember who said they think it was. I do like the cat that's on the seat just chilling out. It does look like Pumpkin, who's now changed seats again, and she's now to my left. You got the nice little coffee bit. There has to be a shower or toilet in this. There it is. That is toilet paper. We see it. I see you. So there it is. There's a shower head, and that looks like there's a squat and drop basin just in there. So yeah, you got some toilets that are in there. Oh, it was the last one. It was the last one. Okay. Now, I couldn't remember which one it was. So I remember you guys talking about it, and I started thinking, oh, is it this one or is it the other one? So no, nice looking sets on these. So if you're a fan of the old school Paradisa stuff, this would just be literally a perfect add-on. It'd be a modern take on a really old line, again from 95, 96. It's all the clear pink elements that they used, all like a beachfront set, had like the little hotels and all that kind of thing. It wasn't around very long, but this will have a lot of fan base for nostalgia for people, I would imagine. And the fact that you have now got the actual torso that you can buy in bulk, because that's now come back, and as that one has as well. And yes, they are literally all in Speedos and swimwear. This is just a really nice updated model for that theme. And of course, you can't go wrong with a massive ice cream either. So that's always a nice touch. But no, something like this, I think people would look at that and go, oh yeah, I'd like that if they've still got it. Because I know some people that still have all of their childhood Lego on display, because obviously all the pieces connect. Every single brick element attaches with each other. That is a minifigure thong. Yes, that is a definite minifigure thong that you are looking at right now. There is minifigure cheekage, and he's a very, very happy chappy. And then you got the seats that look like they move about. That bit flops in on itself. And then there you got all what's that you got? So you got orange strawberry. You got the chocolate dough sprinkles. Is that blueberry? And then you got the chocolate top. So they're the drinks. And then you got the chocolate ice cream, and then the vanilla ice cream, because that's the pull down. And then you've got these that you could put on top of the cone. So you have got a full blown thing in there if you wanted that kind of thing in your collection. So they have obviously done these Lego themselves, but just not under that banner. Right, we're getting back into more aviation bits and pieces. So I told you it's a complete hybrid of bits and bobs. This, well, it could work well with the Indiana Jones stuff if you wanted to put like an aerial show on. It looks like it's at that sort of age demographic. from way back when with that old sort of old school license plate. It is kind of something that might work, and you could sort of just add in to into a diorama. But again, I would want an airport before I started to get these more upscaled airplanes. But I think they do look nice. I think they do look really nice. And again, massive congratulations to all the designers on this. You've all done very, very, very well with all of these. Very, very strong. So yeah, hopefully. Because has anybody this evening seen a set that you would hope would make the top 5? There must have been something that we've seen just in the last couple of categories that we've looked at. Because obviously, a load of you said about the castle stuff yesterday. But there must be something from this batch that must have caught your eye, because because this is it. Once we've done this, we've run out of, we've covered every single set, all 555 of them, and then that's it built. So that's what it looks like built on display. Very nice. Clever designs on all of these. And you've got the engine that's on the inside. So yeah, like I said, we'll work out what we'll do for Sunday evening. Because this is time. It's time dependent, this one, because what I'm probably going to do tomorrow is do another Bricklink. Well, I'm going to have to tomorrow evening. I've got to do another Bricklink live, because on Monday, the other series actually goes live for you to be able to buy. So we'll do a mashup of people's favorite Bricklink sets. You guys can just let me know in the comments what it is that you like, and then I can just hunt down those designers, and we can go from there. So Reese says, there's that many good ones. I keep having to recheck my favorites, said Reese. And Jane, I want it all. Not greedy at all. But yeah, there has been some really nice. There's been some nice stuff. Again, I'm looking at stuff from a theme park perspective. Did I not actually look at those photos then? Did I just go back off by mistake? Yeah, because I look at it from a theme park perspective. What fact, I lost where we are. I definitely missed this one, so I know I missed this one. So I'm a bit more selective with what I can actually use. So Reese has asked the question: which one will you be purchasing from Series 7? Well, there is definite purchase from me tomorrow for one of those, and I'm pretty sure, Reese, you might be able to guess which one it is. It will work well with the Ninjago. But we will we'll relook at all of those sets so people can make up their mind, because it will give the countdown to the actual hour that it goes live. Now, don't forget, with the Bricklink stuff, it used to be first come, first serve with regards to it being limited to 10,000. Then it got put up. And now I don't know how they're going to do it, because last time it was done differently again, where you had less than a week to get it in. And they basically said they'll try and make sure that if anybody wants one, you'll get it. But you are limited to obviously how many that you can get. So it is done differently. So as long as there's no bar underneath the bottom, you don't have to, because what they did say is that they said that some of them were selling out so quickly that people in other parts of the world were still at work, because obviously it goes live at different times, because it's a worldwide buy-in, the Bricklink Designer Program. It's not like you've just got America's got their own and we've got our own. So when they limited it to like 10,000 units, that's nothing, because they sold 10,000 units in less than an hour on the first series, and there was 5 of them, don't forget. So I think when me and Jay did the dueling live stream together a long time ago, when the Transylvania set first went live, they probably sold 20,000 sets just while we're on the live stream. And we weren't on the live stream that long. It's just that they didn't sell out. So whale watching. So again, the base on this one catches quite nice. Oh, Reese, go on then, do tell. So what are you going to be going in from Series 7, Reese? And this is open to everybody else. What is people going to be getting from Series 7? So I'm going to do a recap tomorrow of Series 7, plus I don't know how to word it. Maybe like a wish list top 5. We might do a wish list top 5 tomorrow. Well, we between everybody in the chat, we will try and put together an ultimate 5. That'll be hard to do, wouldn't it? where we will try and get a good array of sets in. So we could literally just get the most expensive set for everyone and make it the most expensive Bricklink designer program in human history. But there is amazing sets at a lower price point that we can add in as well. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll do a wish list top 5 as a group, and then we'll cover over the all the other little bits and pieces. But we will be doing another double live stream tomorrow, because I've got to move all the my medieval section tomorrow, so I've got to get all of that in, and then have a little break, and then kick things off again at 8 o'clock, and then just do this. So yeah, there is some nice sets. I've just seen Reese. So the chemist, a lot of people are thinking of that, I think. I'm going to go for the sushi, 100% for the sushi. Have you seen the images for the sushi? Because the images of those in better picture form have been going around today, and you can actually take the thing apart and have it side by side as a street rather than it being back to back, or you can bring it in on itself and put a row plate between it. So that set's very, very versatile on that one. So yeah, if you because a lot of the designers are putting up all of their images properly, because obviously we're in that window now, and it's sort of flooding the news feeds, which is good. But I don't know if tomorrow they would update the photos and just make it like, oh, by the way, this is all the stuff that we've done. I don't think they will, but it'll be nice to take a look at for the last time before you guys can go spend some money. Right, we've got 2 more pages left, and then we have done everything. So again, we've got some really nice looking things with this. I mean, if you wanted a horse and cart display, then this will be perfect for you. James says not going to get anything from Series 7. No, Series 7 is completely different to anything else. Completely different. But there'll be stuff from... There's stuff from Series 8. The only thing that I could see that might work for you, Jane, because you are a medieval fan, is the medieval pharmaceutical one. Because that's now got all the updated minifigures in from the different bits, and that would scale with the blacksmith, and it would also scale with the ones that are coming out for future. But it depends again if you've got space and if that's what you're doing. So I don't know if you're more medieval or fantasy, but I would have thought that the chemist would have been good for D&D. But again, they are awkward sizes, they are awkward shapes, and don't forget though, the Bricklink stuff is bigger. So like the castles are huge, like the chemist one is very tall. So yeah, there's some big sets, and that boat, the boat that they've got in Series 7 is unbelievable. The length on that thing is unbelievable. It is massive. I mean, if you think the Barracuda Bay boat is got some length to it, then this literally just knocks it out of the water. Literally, it is humongous. So the sails on it are massive. And yeah, it is full-blown penetration on just how big that set actually is. And this is a nice looking car as well, with all the little bits and pieces on there. And there's another toilet. Yeah, the scale is huge. It is huge. Yeah, that would be the only one that I could see working in a D&D. That's the only one that I could see working in a D&D, and I think that would work with the pub that they're going to be doing as well. But the others are big. But we take a look at it tomorrow, and then you've got time to decide and whatever else. But how it works with the Bricklink Designer Program is it's a pre-order, obviously. So again, I don't think it's first come, first serve anymore, but you obviously make a payment. So you can either do it on your bank card, credit card, whatever it is that you want to do. They will do a holding payment for like 3 days, and then it obviously gets returned back into your account. And then 6 months later, they'll send you an email saying that they're going to take a payment. So, yeah, see the antique collection. That's a nice one, but I wouldn't have a clue what to do with that. I know what it's meant for, And I completely understand why the Lego groups put the Ninjago updated bits and pieces in there, and they put all the dragons and stuff in there to give you inspiration to use it literally as that kind of thing. But I don't know what's going on. Killian, you have a question from Reese. Killian is, I think, doing 3D printing in his shed. So he'll be lurking, I would imagine, somewhere in the background. Sean, are you getting anything? Because are you umming and ahhing on that one? So Killian doesn't know what Series 7 is. Right. Well, we have to educate, don't we? So hang on. We don't know what is in. We're looking at Series 10 at the moment. So Series 7 goes live on Monday. So it goes live at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is like lunchtime our time, isn't it? No, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 4 hours. Is it 4 o'clock? Might be 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So yeah, so you've got the longest thing ever. This thing is just massive. So 20 minutes now comes with 20 minifigures. It's 4,000 pieces. Comes with a goat as well. But the length is over 3 base plates long. So it is huge, 32 inches in length. So this is what's coming in. So this is what we're going to do in great detail tomorrow. So you've got these amazing ships and all of these amazing bits and pieces. And then we'll go over these for the last time tomorrow as a recap of what's coming. I want the sushi restaurant, because I think that looks great. But you've got the price points all the way from 34 to 319. And this, I think, looks really smart. It's just on a base plate, so it's not going to take up. It doesn't take up much more than that. It's just taller, beautiful detail, nice build, lots of different bits and pieces going on it, and there's your minifigure selection with all the bits and pieces that are going on there. So from a fantasy perspective, I think that would be really very, very good. So that's Series 7, and then we're back over to Series 10 of what could be. So the big difference is now is that we got one thing on the countdown until we can actually purchase it. And this is also on the countdown for you to get your votes in to get it to the next stage for us to be shown what it is that you're going to go for it. Oh, Reese, are you actually thinking of the big ship, Reese? Is Reese going to get the big ship? I honestly cannot get over how detailed that ship is, to be honest. I think it's gorgeous, but I just do not have use for that type of ship. Originally, the idea was Jay thought it'd be a good idea for me to get the ship because it would make a perfect Star Trek display, because obviously that's from the movie, obviously the Enterprise that they're on the holodeck. But now we're going to be we're going to physically hang the Starship Enterprise on my roof, on the ceiling. I think that window's gone out there. I think that idea's gone out the window. But I want the sushi restaurant, so I would rather get the sushi restaurant than the pirate ship. So that's what I'm gonna go for. I think we'll see. I say this all the time, and then I miss out on them. I'm like, no, I can't justify it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get that. Yeah, exactly, Jane. Exactly the same thing. I also need to save up for the Lego sets. Yeah, so just the difference is for the Bricklink is they do not take payment, nor do you make payment for 6 months. But the problem is that in 6 months' time, there'll be a Lego set that you really want to get with a good giveaway on day one, and then you've already shafted yourself, basically. So it is a negative from Sean, an absolute negative. I thought you'd change your profile picture again then, but no, you're still on the ship. I'm going to get 2 of them for definite. Really like the big ship too. Yeah, that would be a very expensive haul. If you picked up all 3 of those, that would be very, very expensive. You could try it, but yeah, you might have to sell both kidneys if you did that. But I don't know how well that would go for you. So this I quite like because you got the it being painted over, so they're sort of adding bits and pieces to the signage. Again, it would work well down by a farm, because that's the Paris artwork that they're adding on there, which is another clever touch. Because of course that's the new Paris postcard. It says "Visit Paris" up at the top, and then you got all the logs and everything down at the bottom. But you got like this old-looking truck. I think this would work well with a farm. On the way, you could drive down to the farm, and you got all these little bits and pieces up top. And then if you got super creative, you could change this to something else that you wanted to at a later date as well. But obviously, just keep the rest of it. So there's opportunities for that to make a really nice display with that kind of set. Now, talking of boats, there's a canal houseboat. Again, pack a punch, lots of colour on the external. I do like all the little flowers and everything. You got the seat, you got all of these up on top. So yeah, lots of detail on the inside looking at these. So yeah, you got all the bits and pieces that wrap around on that. And then yeah, is there another one? There is. That is another toilet and a shower combination. So how many toilets have we seen so far today? So Brickable asks, how is everybody doing today? Living the dream, Brickable World. I cannot feel my current right bum cheek with how I'm sat as I am on this floor. But apart from that, everything is absolutely fine. Killian says, Ireland won, Scotland won, and Liverpool won. So going pretty good. And of course, the Olympics are going on as well. Don't know how they got on this evening though. So yeah, all good. So yeah, we're spoilt for sport at the moment. Spoilt for sport. Yeah, you've got the FA Cup, Six Nations. You had the NFL and the Winter Olympics all within 7 days. So yeah, lots and lots of sport going on at the moment. So you've got workable engine on the back. This one, you've got the silver tools. That's a cool little thing. Octane, always love that Easter egg. I love that little reference that they put in on those sets because, of course, that is the fuel of the Lego group. Don't forget. So I've got a question for people. What there is, I think there's two, but what is the other fuel company that the Lego group used to deal with before they created the Octane brand? Does anybody know what it was? Does anybody know what it's on? What I've just read something about the Winter Olympics. What's Reese going on? the dudes running up the hill on the Olympic skis is blowing my mind. They are unbelievable athletes, aren't they? No, that the the Bricklink anti. Oh, that's very true. I don't know. I didn't know. I nailed it. We got one in there. Nailed it. Absolutely. So yes, it was Shell. They actually had the Shell group, the fuel petrol company, because they were doing stuff with Shell. And if you think of like the F1 stuff that they did and all the little Lego City play sets and stuff that they did, they had the Shell stuff, but there was also the black and red symbol. I don't know if that was just a race team or if that was another fuel company as well. And then they lost the contract with it and then obviously stopped. And then they've now just got the Octane, and that's where the Octane stuff comes from. Now, the newer updated Octane is obviously the EV stuff that they're doing. But no, Octane is the fuel because they've even got the Octane thing in the 8080, which makes me chuckle. There we go. So you've seen the short track. Yeah, I've been catching a lot of the snowboarding, half pipe stuff, and the ski stuff, and the girls and guys that have been doing that they're just unbelievably fearless. I've really very much enjoyed the Winter Olympics this year. I think it's been fantastic coverage, especially on the red button, and you can just watch anything on demand that you want to. I've tried to watch as much as I possibly can. Because I think it's more exciting than the actual Summer Olympics, but it just doesn't get it's not spoken about as much, which I think is a bit of a shame. But no, I think the Winter Olympics this year has been nuts. Now, is this sort of like a steampunk-esque set? Would this go with any of the sets that we saw in the buildings? Because now we're on a completely different tab. But is it the Cloudbreaker? I mean, it's the same color scheme of what we've seen for a lot of the other bits. Spooky Scary rings a bell as well from the designer, so I've seen that. Good price point though. So good, it will be a good price point because it's 1,116 pieces, so that's not going to be astronomical amount of money. But would you? The question is, would anybody have a use for this in their display? Because I think some of you do like this kind of thing, so I wonder if it would be a good entry into the steampunk, maybe, because there are some good sets for steampunk that are out and about at the moment. And again, more boats. So lots of factions with these, lots of variations of these as well. Yeah, loads and loads of just different bits and pieces. They've done amazing work on these, but you can see as the brick count gets bigger, you can see how each one just gets a little bit more sort of more detailed. But what you got to think of is, again, we're going up that sort of price point as we go up. So it's almost like, what would people's cutoff be with regards to detail to price? Because then will it get too expensive for certain things, or would you not care and you just want to be all in? Tiny Home Adventure is the next one. So you've got the solar panels up on top. There's no room at the inn, apparently. I don't know what that one is. That's obviously some reference. I'm bad with these references at the moment, Killian, because it took me ages yesterday that actually we're talking about that, weren't we? Don't have time to bleed. And it was Reese. How did the salt water go for you, Reese? Did you lose a finger, or is everything okay? I've just remembered that we haven't done a medical check-in for Reese. So Reese nearly lost a finger yesterday from a horrendous Lego building injury. And it seems to be, look, nobody's asked you, everybody's forgotten. So even Sean's forgotten because he's too busy throwing sets against he's throwing sets against a wall, trying to break them down. So I think Sean is also going to be bleeding behind the fingernails if he's stripping bits and pieces down. I think the Hong Kong Ding Ding tram is what this one is. I do like that. I do like the name of that. The Hong Kong Ding Ding tram. And I would imagine it might be the stop might be called Ding Ding in Hong Kong. There might be some reference to that. It does seem to be that a lot of the designers, obviously they're not linked, all seem to have somebody not paying attention walking in front of the tram. Because this one clearly is about to get absolutely mashed by a brick cola built outer skirt red Ding Ding tram, and it is just vlogging. So if I do my vlogging stuff, when I go out and about and actually enter the real world, I do look left and I do look right. Fingerless, there we go. So we're having an update for anybody that cares. Fingerless yesterday, good today, just about. Jane says got no space. Jane's got no space for the set. Love the name of this one. Yeah, I like that one. Guy at the back is loving it too. Yeah, I know. That's like just having a word. Worst thing about Lego is design your home decor around it. Exactly. You basically need, and you basically need to have an architecture design. He knows this. Look at this little turd just here. Look what they've done. That's definitely his sister. Just got off you go, mum. Go on, bugger off. Crunch. No. Well, look at that. It's literally telling a story that you're about to get run over. Unless there is a traffic light system there, by the way. I have only just noticed that. But I think that more than likely, jump the red. The head and hairpiece will go flying off. There's the Octan again. It's going to Kennedy Town. So there's clear Easter eggs with regards to this is probably called the Ding Ding train. I do like the fact it says brick cola, enjoy every brick. I don't know how they'll be able to. I wonder if they could do that. I don't think that's infringement from the Lego group. They should be able to do that. So yeah, I like that. I think it's a real nice looking thing. I think that's a nice design. There's the bit on the back. Again, not even looking where they're going. What are you doing? And then you've got just a bit that you can wait. There we go. And then, yeah, full sponsored by the Octan. And the first Lego League, so that's not the first time we've seen that, the Lego League. So I wonder where they got that reference for, because we've seen a couple of those sets now. Yeah, we've seen a few of those. Oh, I wonder if it. I'm assuming it's not a new. It's not a new Lego tile. Well, it must be, I guess, because if there's a few people doing it, they must have a selection that they can do. So, is it a thing that the Lego Group are going to be doing in a set, or they've got it available in a set, or something like that now? And then the boat dock. So back to the Lobster House. So this is the Fast and the Furious boat dock. So just add some Speed Champion cars to this, and you can make all sorts of different dioramas with this. It is a fully modular, so you can mix and match all the little bits and pieces up and do your own configuration to it. I think this layout for maybe would be my choice, but you could, if you wanted to, have the dock, have it the other way and have a walk around. But I'd have it as a drive to the dock, I think, rather than an actual foot bit. But that one would be a movie chase with the car going off the edge, wouldn't it? So yeah, you can see what I mean. You can get creative with these things. Yeah, it makes it more interesting. But yeah, it's all modular. You can do all sorts of different bits and pieces that are about on this one. So yeah, you can do some nice stuff. Comes with sailboat, speedboat, diving boat, and inflatable raft. So there we go. There's a full boats that come in that. And again, massive congratulations to you, Lobster House. Thank you for joining us on the chat the other day. It's always nice to speak to all the different designers and just obviously ask them loads of different questions. So now, this is again, these are, that name rings a bell. I think was it Scott Mox that did this one? And now this is a 2-pack. Because I think I've definitely recognised the name for this one, but I recognise the sail. So potentially this would have been the same design as well earlier on. And now we're just getting it as a double. So you can either get them individually or maybe get them as a double. So that's a nice thing to be able to do. And then yeah, you've got all the other little bits and pieces that are on the go. So actual full-blown, there's penetration with the battle on that one. So there's one of them's going to get sunk, let's be honest. There is entry about to happen from one boat to another. So that's always good to see. And then yeah, that's yours. And then the rest stock, did we click? No. See, oh, there it is. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's Scott. So there's Scott Mox up at the top. So that I didn't realise. I recognised the ship, but I didn't think it was done by the same designer. And then we come down. There was the other one on the other page, and then put all three of those together. So that this was one of the first boats that we saw. So having it as a 2-back is always a nice thing. So there's another Rock Raiders. So few tweaks to the actual Rock Raiders bit. Just a few. I do recognise the tweaks to them. That's very similar to what you could have got as an actual set, because you've got the Technic bits just at the bottom. That's how the legs move forward and backwards. I do own all of these sets, apart from the super expensive figure. So yeah, apart from that. But yeah, the others, that one I think is there or thereabouts the same. Might be some slightly different configuration. This one looks different with the wheels and the arm. So this one looks a little bit different. There you go. Look, feet move backwards and forwards, and the blade spins and turns around. So the blade's different because I think the chunky sort of drill blade was a one piece. Matt, check the chat. Check the chat. Hi, hello to you, Norbuild. Yeah, so you left a comment the other day. You left the comment on the last video, didn't you? So what theme is yours? Because we can have a look at that again now, because you're in the chat. So because I've literally covered every single design. So we've got 2 pages left, and every single set has then been shown off in the last 3 or 4 live streams. And then we're going to do like a wish list top 5 tomorrow when we look at the Series 7. All three are castle themed. Ah, there we go then. Okay. I will get that up in the background. Hang on, and we'll have a quick look. We will get that in there. So yeah, we did all the castle stuff yesterday, didn't we? So we did all the castle stuff yesterday. So yeah, it's different theming this evening for those. So here we go. See, when it works, it's brilliant. I thought I recognised your name. It was the House of Frights. That's the one that you wrote a thing on, didn't you, saying that you like things having a look. So I will. What I do is we'll go over these just not quickly, but just gradually, and then you can ask the designer in the chat as we go through these photos anything that needs to be done. So this is the designer now. So House of Frights is fantasy, but Bricklink marks it as castle. It doesn't matter. It's in there, so it doesn't matter. So it's on there. So yeah, so there's some beautiful bits and pieces that are in here. So yeah, we'll have a quick look. We'll just go through slowly. But yeah, we looked at all of these yesterday because you had the catapult and all the other horses and all the other little bits and pieces that are in there, and they all look very, very effective. So how long did it take you to do all three of these? Because this is the one that's got the prison in, and then you've got the armory, and then you've got all the other little bits and pieces that are on the back on the one side, and then it's opposite on the others. This is the double bunk bed. You've got the door, and you've got the little sort of bakery bit at the bottom, and then also you can see that you've got the pins in the middle where they can clip together, so makes it a bit more easy to transport. And then that's it as a full width. So that is the full girth on that one. And then you've got the doors with everything up at the front. So the design's very, very clever. And then you've got the nice horse and cart, like the big catapult and the bits and pieces from the other factions. So yeah, you come in at the right time, because there is some big castle fans that have been in the chat, in and out the chat all night. I know there's some people. I don't know if Jane can hear me, but Jane's into all the fantasy bits and pieces, and there's a couple of others as well. So yeah, just anybody that's got any questions about these, because this is one that a lot of people, I was speaking about this one quite a bit yesterday because of it just being a completely different color, because it just happened to be that somebody said, oh, all the castles seem to be the same color as gray, and then all of a sudden this one popped up. I was like, oh, it's completely different. So yeah, that's it. So it's a good way to do it. Try and make them as big as possible with as few parts, because that's what caught my eye. I couldn't quite figure out what faction this one was in the castle stream that we were doing yesterday, because I could recognize all the other factions. I was like, I don't recognize that one. It was a completely different flag. But yeah, plenty of bits and pieces going on there. You've got all the armory. You've got a nice little staircase, and then yeah, you got the people have just been in the prison far too long. They've been in that prison for. So, and then yeah, this was the one with the wings on the side. So yeah, we did have, as a group yesterday, because obviously there's loads of people in the chat yesterday, as a group, a lot of people very impressed with this design yesterday. And then of course the House of Frights. So oh, so it's from there. It's the Black Knights is a faction from the 90s. Ah, there we go. I couldn't remember it. I just could not, for whatever reason, I cannot visualize that shield. I was like, what was it from? So there we go. That answers the question. So the Black Knights is a faction from the 90s. And there you go. Killian says, very nice. Love this. One of the forest men down there since the 80s. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. So loads of designers that have done the castle stuff, they've just literally left them in there. There was one designer that had a skeleton pinned down on a bed with a chain over the top, while all the other characters were just walking by. They'd obviously just clearly forgotten about them, because even in my mountain fortress, they've added in a really old minifigure of a Lion Knights character that has clearly been in the prison for ages. So some of these designers are absolutely brutal. Brutal. Hang on, what does that say? Got a skeleton chained to the wall in this. What, in this one? Yeah. Because we were taking a good look at this one yesterday, because I'm a fan of all the horror bits and pieces, because we noticed we're going through all these slowly, weren't we? So yeah, you got all the bits and pieces. The only thing is, like I said, it's bloody Bricklink. It's a pain in the ass to try and zoom in. I would rather just be able to do it how I do on the Lego website, because I can sort of do a touch and feel. But yeah, you can see all of the different bits and pieces. You've got Frankenstein, I think it's variation like a Frankenstein monster pinned down just underneath there. You've got the broom and all of that kind of stuff going across the bottom. And then, yeah, you've got some of the other faction bits and pieces. Skull, artwork, more bones. And then, yeah, you've got, is the removable bit hidden front, isn't it? That there's something hidden for. All the movable bits and bobs, so they all turn around. And then, yeah, you've got, there's tons and tons of detail. But yeah, because this is what I said about the glow-in-the-dark things yesterday in the tree, and there it is. So, yeah, loads of nice detailing on this one. But yeah, all you guys and girls with the castle-y stuff, and just brutally keeping them pinned down there. The witch uses its arm to stir the broom. Ah, clever. Okay. Yeah, so again, massive congratulations to you for that. It's not, I mean, it's a credit that there was just one in there. But the fact that you've managed to get 3 in Series 10 is nuts. So in total, it's the big one was about 3 months, and the smaller one's about a month and a half. Reese says very cool design. I like that. I do, but yeah, it is. There we go. Very cool. Like the eagle design on the castle. Yeah. So there is some really nice. There is some really nice designs on all of these. So that's the 3 here by Nightlord Builds. So again, we are running out of time to get the votes in. So you've got to cast your votes and just get it done. And then you can see exactly what is what. So yeah, all 3 of these do look very, very smart indeed. All playable features will look great on the display, will work really nicely within. And yeah, honestly, massive congratulations to you on that one. You've done really, really very good job on that. So you should be proud, because I honestly, for love or money, can't do anything myself. There's no chance I can get that looking anywhere near that sort of level. So yeah, fair play to you, and I hope they do. I really hope they do well. And because what would be the plan moving forward for you with regards to those designs? It would be, is there like, do you just hope that they'll get in through for Series 10 or Series 11, or is there a time where you think they're not going to go through because of how many castle stuff there are or whatever else? And then would you then sell the instructions online, or would you do other little bits and pieces, or how would it work? Yeah, the comment is massive, isn't it? It's really rough. Yeah, it's for the castle stuff. We were saying this yesterday. We think that the castle is the highest competition. Because I did cover all of the fantasy and the space and all the buildings in separate ones. So I've done multiple live streams. And it does seem to be that, like, almost the standard of building for the castles, it seems to be the highest. Not so much the highest, like it's better than others, but there just seems to be a lot of really high-end designs in that. That's good to know. So here we go. So that's why it's always good to ask this question, because lots of people wonder. So I upload whatever I can to Rebrickable. There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I suppose that's true. I noticed people taking advantage of the fantasy to skirt around the castle competition while still being in the castle technically. Yeah, that's it. But I suppose, though, the Lego group's not going to be daft, are they? Because they would still look at it and go, well, there's two sets too close to each other, maybe. But maybe they're trying to get around it to maybe stand out, so it's easier to be seen. Because like with the nature tabs and the smaller winter set and the smaller nature stuff, all of those stand out massively because they're small, they're beautiful, and they stand out massively from just like other little bits and pieces. Whereas with the castle stuff, they're all amazing designs, all just different interpretations for piece count usage and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really tough, really, really, really tough. And it's the same really with some of the Western stuff as well, because some of the Western stuff is also if years gone by, it's difficult. Now I know Killian's a massive fan of this, so this called Killian's Eye. And again, from maybe a lower, it's not. I don't even think this is. We're not in the lower entry price point anymore. 1.7, so what? 130, 140, maybe for something like this. So when you've got other things coming in at a lower price point, because obviously, as we know, that's how the Bricklink Design Program does. Yeah, it's got to be difficult to get in, but it's good. It's good to know because I am going to be doing. I don't. Well, to be fair, if with regards to that, it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't go anywhere, would it? Knights of the Build. So I wouldn't worry. There is certain sets that you look at it and go, oh yeah, that does look like it's an IP, but the Bricklink stuff won't have IP stuff. That'd be saved for the Lego Ideas. So it would have got through to this stage, but the Lego group themselves would just look at it and go, no. So it just wouldn't be put through. But yeah, it just says Hope Castaway Scene. So yeah, it wouldn't go through. They would know that that's too close and conflict of interest to the actual film. So no, I wouldn't say that would happen. But yeah, there's 555 designs. So yeah, the competition is massive. We've got all sorts of different bits and pieces with regards to all the cars and all of the other little bits and pieces like that. But yeah, there you go. Killian says, all brilliant designs, fair play, dude. And that's obviously 2 Night Lord builds. That comment was aimed at. So yeah, there is some really nice bits and pieces that are dotted around in. And again, with these, you've got just the Technic internals where you can do all the little bits and pieces. It's just so different. There's so many different types of stuff as well. Because there's 2 or 3 from the Winter Village that could do it very, very easily. There's a good handful from the castle that could get through. I say easily, you know what I mean? Like they would sell well. But going by Series 7, they're all so miscellaneous for Series 7. Be interesting to see how well Series 7 sells, because if Series 7 starts to sell very, very well, I wonder if they would do more complete random stuff in the future, because there is so many different bits and pieces. But they also like the tabs. I mean, like some of the space stuff, we were looking at that before, and there's certain space diners in the space section, but then the building has other of the same theme. So you've really got to do your homework and go through all of the sets. I do like the fact it's got like the Bricklink. Look at that, Bricklink Series 10. That's clever. So it's sponsored by Bricklink on all of those, and even the license plate is Bricklink Design Program Series 10. So that's exactly how it will be on the track. It's a clever looking car, but again, huge competition from the actual Lego group themselves for that. Obviously, with it being a Technic race car, and obviously Lego themselves do that kind of thing. So it'd be nice to add as an addition. But congratulations to Lucas RS, and we can only hope for the best for all the designers. So yeah, there's massive, massive, massive designs. This again is just something completely different. All the staircases, all the bits and pieces going up. There's just so many different takes on different stuff, and it just depends, I guess, on what people are liking at the time, because this is like a modular type thing. So this goes up at the front, or then it goes on to the side, and obviously it goes underneath. So you can extend its length. I think that is an actual technical term this time, because you got it behind it on here, and then obviously on the back side is the actual boat, and the boat lives in there. You extend its length, and there we go. So that is my technical term for that. And then you've got the boat with the little gifts and everything on the back. Nice build boat on that one. So yeah, you've got all sorts of different bits and pieces going on with that one. So yeah, they're done. Everybody, all of you have done amazing jobs. But again, with these boats, these are creeping in from just like the piratey stuff and all of the medieval-y bits. There's some just boats as a standalone boat as well. So they've sort of mixed and matched some of these little bits. So yeah, they've done really good jobs on all of these. Yeah, they have done a very nice job. because you've got all of these bits and pieces on the inside. You've got the bits and pieces going up across the top. That's where the cannons are, as you can see. And then you've got the boat that will split in half, or you can have it as an actual boat. So it's up to you if you wanted to add the arms. And the good thing is that if you didn't want to use this, you're not using a huge amount of pieces for it. Where some of them, it's all part and parcel of the actual design. And it's another debate, isn't it, of obviously that looks great and you can just have the boat snapped up. But if you wanted the boat, you can have it and you can mix and match it. But like, for example, the Pokemon stuff, would people want it without the base and just have the Pokemon, or do people want the base? So it's everybody wants their own thing, don't they? I like Jaws, for example. For me, for Jaws, love the Jaws set. I've got the Jaws set. Never built the base because I don't want it displayed on the base, whereas other people would only have it displayed on the base. So something for everybody. Sky Pirates. How many more? We're running out now. We are running out. We've got 3, 6, 9. 9 more to go, and we have looked at all 555 of them over multiple live streams. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But yeah, there's lots and lots. So again, with this, what do we think? What do we think? Is Rocky or Pumpkin coming back in? Yes. Hello. Yeah, so again, this as a Sky Pirate thing, this could potentially work as some crazy different bits and pieces. All sorts of stuff going on there. You've got multicolored roof like the pink, orange, yellow, all that kind of stuff that's going on this one. It does look very, very strong. Complete mashup of colors on the inside. You've got the computer. You've got Ninjago sword hidden in there. I spotted that. And the pizza box. You can't go wrong with that. Some golden weapons as well. So mashup of absolutely everything on the inside. Nice clean on the tiles. And then you've got all the computer bits and pieces going on there as well. So yeah, it does look nice. And there's your Sky Pirates. So I wonder if that is a take on the Ninjago Sky Pirate, and it's just a different ship. I wonder. Yeah, it's. I mean, this as a monorail. Obviously, it says a large cargo train. But has anybody ever seen the actual monorail space stuff, which now goes for thousands of pounds? It's a scary amount of money, isn't it, with the stuff that you can buy, because this does have the little wheels on. So you have potentially got the option that you could make this as a full monorail, I guess, if you wanted to. It's long. It's 3 base plates in length. But yeah, if you could just carry on with this design, you'd have your own full-blown space display if you wanted to. But I'm confused why this is in this category, because this wasn't in the space stuff. So it's 2,656 pieces, but some of them definitely have been mixed up. Because what are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at vehicles, boats, and airplanes. So they just class it as a vehicle rather than a space thing. Fair enough. So yeah, it's fair. But I just thought with it being space, you would have put it in with the space stuff, because there's lots of other obviously space type bits. But yeah, we are looking at the vehicles. So yeah, there's some nice bits, and again, just little things like this where you've got like the beautiful little walkway on the side. Some people can make that work within their own display. It does look like it's modular with the little buildings that are on the inside. So yeah, you've got all the little bits and pieces that are going on the inside of this one. Of course, there is another shower. This is now becoming a thing now, and there's the toilet. Oh, hang on, where is it? What photo is it? Top right. Top there. Look at that. You've got a little bath and a flush system and everything else in there. So amazed that it now is a thing to put these in. Little engine as well. Not a problem, Nighty Builds. Not a problem. So Nighty Builds is going to be right back in a second. Clean does like that. I'm not too sure if you mean we like the toilet. I've just read your comment late, so it might have been the set previous to that one. But yeah, there's some really strong sets in this as well. Really strong sets. And they don't forget, they're just getting bigger. They are getting bigger, but I do like that lunar. I do like that cargo train. I think that's a very clean looking design. Harbour, a upscaled, almost like UCS type harbour with a what looks like a gorgeous boat as well. Because what we up brick count for this now? It's 3,000. So this would be like your ultimate harbour set. The Sky Pirates. Yeah, the Sky Pirates are nice. I do like that. But this is a big thing as well. Because it's deceiving, but it's going to be wide. The boats are big. So there's a lot there is a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that, isn't there? Yeah, there's a lot going on. With it. You've got the little bits and pieces at the back. You've got the stuff going on across the top. Yeah, you've got loads of minifigures in this one. You've got the 1928 banner on the side. So you've got the smaller ship and the bigger ship as well, by the looks of it. And it's a modular thing, but still haven't seen the airport. So there definitely, unless it's going to be hidden within these. I don't think it's going to be. And then we've got the Polar Nomad's Crawler Convoy. So that's a big thing. That's huge, that. So if you're into your the Polar Express or the Polar Explorer, stuff, this would be a set that you would like just to add in there and have it as a base, and you've got all of the bits and pieces in there because, again, loads of detail. This is why I'm trying to go through them as I am, because you've got all the beds and the bunks and all that kind of stuff in there. You've got all of the fish all around the outside. You've got all the food, flowers, plantation, and all that kind of stuff that they need. And then you can see that, as traditional, they have all the bits that they open up all the rocks and they find out all their there it is again. So you're starting to spot them now that the octane is the way forward. So they've got the octane fuel on there. And then on this side, they've got the computer systems and all the other little bits and pieces that they've got going on that one with all the sleighs and sleds. So, and I'm trying to think. Oh, that's just a map. I was trying to think if that was. I was thinking that might have been like a bit of an Easter egg to something else, but it's not. It's an Easter egg to its own set. So that's just mapping out where those little bits and pieces are. So yeah, that's again nice looking things. So they are just mapping it out with blasting the music. There's the different maps. So you've got the different terrains that they can go on. Two of the smaller vehicles, loads of minifigures, and then you've got the dogs. So yeah, it's impressive. It is impressive. So yeah, that is massive. Yeah, it is absolutely massive. I agree with that, Killian. This thing is huge, and they are just getting bigger. So we've got 1, 2, 3. That's it. We've got 4 more sets. And look, there it is. There is a full-size working harbour, and you know full well that the new Lego set that has just been announced on the Lego website will go well with this tug. So you can't go wrong with the Steamy Tug Adventure. So there it is. So there's your Steamy Tug. And then you've got the big harbour. So there is a UCS harbour available if people wanted it. So that would just outdo, obviously, all of the Lego City scale. I mean, look at that. It's got all the detailing on the blade at the bottom, all the texture across the back. You've got all the rudder and everything just on there. So yeah, this is a big old thing. Look at the detailing on this. So we're now into the thousands of brick count for these last few. Yeah, it's still going through, Jay, on the last 3 or 4, and we are nearly finished. And we're currently looking at a Steamy Tug. So you've timed it well. So we are doing all right. Yeah, lots of detailing on this one. I do like the bits and pieces up at the top. But yeah, there it is, the fully detailed interior. So you've got engine room, wheelhouse, and the bedroom. So that is these bits and pieces that are in here. So yeah, looking nice and smart with all of the detail that's going through on there. And then what else have we got? Yeah, it's the engine room. That's that one. Yeah, there's a very, very detailed tug. So if you wanted one of these, then obviously you could have that. I think that would work well with some of the other much bigger ships. The tugs themselves, though, aren't small, and they're powerful as anything, aren't they? Because don't forget, they're the things that, well, I'm assuming that this is what that's supposed to be. Is the ones that actually really should be pushing the boats and all that stuff around. But obviously, you're just on an adventure with that one. Now, the Spice Galleon could be going with the other. It's got a Roman era ship. This thing, again, huge for this one. What are we at to now? 3,914 pieces. So the length of this looks like it's almost 3 base plates. Roman era. Does it say? No, no, it doesn't. No, it looks like it is. It looks like it's a big chunky thing. Yeah, it does look rather large. So you've got all the little bits and pieces dotted all over the place. Do like the oars that are coming out the side of that. You'd have to have tons of minifigures with this though, because obviously they're not automatic. You know, that's a human driven for that one. So there they are. Look, that's where you would have to sit every single minifigure on there. So they'll be launching that forward and backwards. So I wonder what that would actually be like with a picture of the minifigures on the inside. There's the king. There's the commander, I guess, up at the top. And that would be the army. So the question is that do they have the slaves underneath pushing that, or is it just? I wonder what who you would put in there to get them on. And again, do you like the fact that you've got all the Bricklink cells? So yeah, it does look good. It does look really, really very good. And then you've got the Spice Galleon. So yeah, looking nice on that one. So it's a 17th century, 3,916 pieces, second to last set. And then we have covered all 555 sets in detail. We know what we're going to be looking at tomorrow, because don't forget the countdown for Bricklink 7 is on. And of course, if you are watching this on the replay and you are a designer, let me know what it is yours is. And I will do my best either tomorrow or Monday to recap everybody that's left a comment for the design as well for the builds. So, because we've had, I know people won't know this, but we've had segments of the lives cut and then re-uploaded onto other people's profiles. So that's happened a couple of times. I got tagged in another one this morning for one of the castle stuff that we were doing yesterday. So yeah, they're chopping up the live stream and then re-uploading it as their own minute short. So yeah, we're doing what we can. So this is a rather large harbour by the looks of it. It does look like it is for a shipping container. 3,966 pieces. So yeah, this will be a huge thing. Has got the old school transport logo on. So I haven't seen that logo for a long time on the side with that bright yellow transportation bit. This would be a huge thing. You've got the post, you've got the sacks, you've got the computer. And then, yeah, these cranes are pretty cool. Because you think just how big this is. Like, this truck's not exactly small. So this would be large, but it does look like it's got loads and loads of detail all around the outside. So potentially this might be a contender for just like a UCS harbour if you wanted one. I don't need it because, of course, it's from a theme park perspective. And there's your boat, because if that is for the grain. I do actually still have the vehicles and a different style boat like this, where you do pick up the bits and pieces like that and actually load them on. And then you've got the truck at the back. So there we have it. Right, I'm now going to, that's all of them. So I can now end the poll. Is there anything that anybody wants to take a look at before we start to wrap things up? Jay's broken YouTube record, 21 views in the first minute. Congratulations to you, sir. It is worth putting all the effort into that one. But yeah, there's some outrageous designs to be taking a look at. So we have eyeballs. So do tell. Come on, Sean, do tell. So if you are watching this back on the replay, we are now cut from that stuff. So the Bricklink stuff's done. So however long it carries on for now, you know that we're just going to be looking at what people want to be looking at. And then, yeah, that's all done. So we have now covered from this live stream What tabs have we done? So I definitely don't want to miss anything. So tonight we have covered vehicle, boats, airplanes, trains, art, object, and we have also covered history and period. The medieval castle was so big we did that by itself. We did the space, sci-fi, fantasy, and the pirates we did together, and then we did the building and the animal nature together. So we've done 4. This is the fourth version of this. So yeah, that's not too bad. We can indeed. So we have a yes from Sean, and what wants to be looked at is, can we take a look at the gingerbread castle in all of its glory? We can indeed. So we'll have a quick look at the rebrickable. Gingerbread Castle, Sleepless Nights. It is an absolute thing of filth. This looks like. Here it is, in all of its glory. All of its glory. Now, can I? Oh, see? Yes. Why doesn't this work on Rebrickable? Look how easy that is. I can zoom in. We can take a look at, we can penetrate the gingerbread castle by doing this. Well, I can't do that on the other one. So I can on this. Look at how naughty that looks. I have a gingerbread monkey on my back. Oh, so yeah, you got all of the detailing going across on this. Oh, got carried away. I've skipped the page. Which page? What should we? Oh, it's moving by itself. Apparently, that's what it's doing. I haven't actually asked it to do that. So, yeah, that's the probably one of the better images you can get, so you can soak it all in. Yeah, it's a nice looking thing. So, Killian, so how this works? This is on the Rebrickable website. This is a set, obviously, but the instructions are free. So if you've got the parts to build it, you can build yourself a nearly 4,000 piece gingerbread castle. So Sleepless Nights is the designer. So here, look, there's loads of them on here, but Sleepless Nights is the designer. He's done all of these, or they've done all of these, he, she, whatever. You've got beautiful bits and pieces on here, and I do believe that a lot of these are free, and then you just need to obviously do your own thing. So this is something that we are going to cover completely separately further down the line, because we're going to be looking at different rebrickable bits and pieces and all that kind of stuff. But Sean is in the process of building the Transylvania set. Now, the Transylvania set is from the same designer, and that won the Bricklink competition. So yeah, see what I mean? I mean, look at that. You've got the Lego House Pirate just behind it as well. So that's what they look like. So that's the detailing involved on all of these. That does look very smart. Does look very, very smart. So yeah, they're all done, all built, all finished off, and yeah, I mean, look, just wraps around and just carries on. So they've just linked these in, haven't they? So it's just almost like an add-on. It's just an addition. This one thing is just like, we'll just add more in. There you go. I'll give you some more. So, fair enough. So you can just extend the length if you want to. So this one, or this one's fully modular. So then you can plonk that one back into that, but it gives you the part usage. So the gingerbread castle is 3,971, and it came out in a few years back. So yeah, because you've got a load of parts, Killian, haven't you? So if you can start to source the parts, you just download the instructions for free. And yeah, 3rd of December, the Sleepless Night came out, and that's what it is. That's what it looks like. Yeah, so I like it. I think it looks good. I want this in my winter village with my Darth Vader Star Wars gingerbread and the little gingerbread train and all the other little bits and pieces, but it's just sourcing the parts, isn't it? It's just sourcing those parts. That is the That's the thing. But then you've got things like this for rebrickable. Look, so the house can go into a small house and a small little train and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, there's some nice sets to be looked at and to be had. I don't think there's a full length. I'm not too sure if there is a. No, there isn't. There's not a full size train. I don't think so. I don't think I can have a look at the train. No, exactly. That's the problem. So you're gonna have to source all the colours because obviously gingerbread, isn't it? So you have to sort all the colours. That's the thing that they're doing at the moment now. I mean, this is obviously 2022, but because you had the gingerbread Winter Village house, the giveaway this year in 26 was, of course, the gingerbread train. You've now got the gingerbread 8080 as well. So. Yes, I can do that. So the alternate build. What is it? What's it called? It's the Christmas. Is it the Christmas street? Is it the tram? Oh, I've got a few of them. Which one did you do? Did you do the corner build or the length? Was this the one you did? I don't know if it was. I think it might be the other one. So you got that one or that one? I think it was that one you did, wasn't it? There's more. Oh, no. So, yeah, that's the set it came from. And then that's what it can be done. So that's you just reuse the part usage of them. So there's loads of them by the looks of it. You didn't tell me there was loads of them. But yeah, the Holiday Main Street is a really nice looking set. So that's the actual set, obviously, and then you've got I'll find it again. You've got the rebrickable version of. I don't know who your designer was though. Hang on. Now it's either snowing really heavy outside or it's pouring down, one or the other. I can't find it, Sean. I can't find it, I'm afraid. Yeah. Right, we are in the poll and we'll start to wrap everything up, I think, because we've done well. I think we've done all right. We've not done too badly, not been too badly. So, right, the poll is going to end now. 26 votes in, 35% is the winner. And that is the Snoopy's Doghouse. Actually, it's a lie. It drew with the Ninjago. And Star Wars got absolutely shafted on that. It was not even close. Right, I'm going to let you guys go say goodbye to each other. Thank you for everybody that joined me for this series. And of course, we've got plenty more of these videos to come. Of course, if you are, like I said, designer watching this in the background, let us know what it is that you've designed. I will do my very, very best to put this in a top 5 wish list video. So we will hopefully be able to find your sets and we can have a look at these at much greater detail again later on. But I think that's it. Done, finished, and done. So thank you, everybody. So thank you all. And I will be doing a double again tomorrow. So if you're bored, come around, say hello. And we'll be doing the Lego room and, of course, a recap of Bricklink Series 7 before it goes live on Monday. So thank you massively to the certain individual that decided to gift everybody's memberships as well. So Ryan, I know you're probably fast asleep by now, but thank you very much indeed, Ryan. And I will catch up with everybody tomorrow. So take care, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.